Hello, everyone, and welcome back to SOS 80. My name is Skeptilians, and I am here with the fabulous Genie 7 on this Shine Eve. How are you tonight, Genie?
Oh, I am very excited to be back on the mic for SOS. It's been a couple weeks for me, but yeah, I'm so excited. I am very excited to see what these two teams offer, and especially with all the upcoming events that are going to be on IPL.
Yeah, it's going to be a very busy weekend, isn't it? To start off... Oh, go ahead.
I'm ready. I've got my setup already for a long weekend. I got screens ready for this great IPL weekend. So getting started with that, we've got Elegant Crusaders versus New Horizon. Both these teams played in low ink. Is that correct, Skep?
Yeah, so we have a interesting little mix-up here for you all. New Horizon is banned from low ink now. They are moving forward into mid-level, right on launch for Splatoon 3, whatever that means to you. However, this weekend, we all have off weekends. They did get second in Gamma, losing to Ink Invaders. Elegant Crusaders, on the other hand, was not expected to end up at the deep end of Alpha Bracket. However, they did end up getting third place this past weekend, losing to both Inked Killers, which we all know the name of by now, and Mean Girls. So, one team graduating into mid-level, the other team probably looking right at that door.
Yeah, and the other thing about Elegant Crusaders is they had an insane losers run. They went from rounds 2 to 6, all in losers bracket. So that was absolutely phenomenal from them, showing that their mental fortitude of dropping in a loser's bracket early doesn't mean that you're out of the tournament. And we are in Nessie's pool today, so there is no real loser's bracket where you can go on a crazy run. But that shows me that a team can have the mental fortitude to hold on and really prevail in sets. And losing, the set that they lost to Mean Girls was in map 5. So that was honestly a phenomenal showing and a great third place by them.
Getting to round 5 of a 2-day tournament is a test of endurance and stamina. So, that is something that might benefit them here in SOS as well, because it's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, Genie. So, that same level of endurance, you had a long day, you're getting right into some Splatoon on some Clamblitz Snapper.
I love some clams. Those Clamblitz is such on this map. People always said that it was like, oh, Clamblitz is bad. I always said this map will be the competitive map choice for all of Clamblitz, and I feel like it's been one of the most popular clams map in this game. Most people have to agree because you can kind of play any comp, and I love that we see 2 rollers coming out from both these teams.
Yeah, that is something worth noting, that both teams do run rollers. We got Pixel on that Flingza and 1010 on that Carbon roller. Oh, no, it's the other way around. That's very different for both of them.
Yeah, that is. But we are going to see some advantages coming out from New Horizon. The Elegant Crusaders go down, but that's not going to be enough time because Ferrari tries to get one and not for that. This push should be looking good for New Horizon.
Yeah, Kai's working towards those missiles, keeping the area up to basket painted. It does look like Elegant Crusaders does have some specials to burn here. New Horizons starting to pop those special, but they go 1 down in the process. That's going to make it much more difficult for them to get in the street. But as I say that, Kai pushing up, picking that fight with the Nautilus and going down. Elegant Crusaders has held onto that basket at this time.
Zenith with that great Nautilus spot to just shark on the side, keeping the charge alive, and a nice Inkjet exit kill as well. Keeping you at range, keep doing just the normal spot holding thing. Wait for them to push into you. As soon as they get in your range, walk around the corner and unload every single bullet you have.
And from that previous exchange, New Horizon is all the way backed up into their plat. It is Elegant Crusaders who are knocking at the door now. They have that left hill. There is one down on each side, but they don't really have enough space to be able to push in here. But as I said, that the rail does go down. Zenith coming in for that dunk, but will it be worth it, given that only Martz is at the basket?
Oh, that was such an unfortunate time to pop missiles as Martz comes in with a great splashdown double. That was so sad. You saw them going for that kill on the wire, but they shot missiles instead. And Elegant Crusaders are still pushing here. They've got Zenith here, and Mark's still alive. The push is not done, but New Horizons, they have fortified and they have set up. I believe it can now end here.
Yeah, they don't have any more clams, so regardless, that's Elegant Crusaders ends to that push. We're going to see them be able to spread out, take both those sides. Whoever wins this fight on left hill is going to put themselves sitting pretty, though. Miss Popgun coming around, having to deal with that Nautilus, popping that inkjet right in their face. Will they get the pick? No, they have to fall back.
Can they run? Oh, I would have loved if that bomb got the kill on the carpet, but no, Zenith coming alive. And Elegant Crusaders, they have some space, but losing your ruler here is not great. Zenith has been absolutely farming this lobby so far.
And Elegant Crusaders once again on the back foot. 3 for 3, but you got 2 coming out of spawn from EC, so not really in a situation to push. It's rather scrappy for them with 2.5 minutes. They've given New Horizons some time to work up here, create some space to work with, but not really enough space to push.
No, not really enough space to push, but Zenith is still just waiting around. They've got the missiles to go, sending their ball to the side, and that inkjet, going down to the bomb! New Horizons on the move now. They can start taking away some of this mid control. The Zenith has been such a dominant force.
And now we're in a situation where EC is on defense and they're wiped and they don't have enough clams. 20 clams is a lot, but that's just 2 power clams. So even if you manage to get that in, that push is going to die rather quickly because you don't have the space to stall that. Armor coming out from New Horizons means that they are even better prepared for this defense, possibly even a push if they manage to find the clams.
Yes, if they manage to find these clams. But both teams are losing members and they're losing space. That's going in favor of New Horizons though. They want to just hold the space and hold the area, which is good because they need to get those clams into the basket.
Where is the fight going to happen? Because we have both of these teams with those missiles, with that splashdown from the 96. They have armor from the Tri, so it really just looks like New Horizon is biding their time, waiting for an opportunity, but they need to be able to make that opportunity by clearing Zenith and Co out of basket.
No, they lost their missiles. Their missiles are the only engaging special. They have a chicken rush and a splashdown to follow up an armor. And I don't think, we all know splashdown, it's not going to be enough to get you in. Those missiles were crucial. And New Horizon lost them, and they lost their opportunity to push. Elegant Crusaders are here to punish them.
And here we go, that's, oh no, the clam goes down, that's huge for New Horizons in that defense, but they don't just need defense here, they need the space to be able to push up. They have that power clam, they have the pity under basket, they have 3 specials. Will they be able to do it? Miss Popgun on that right side, getting a pick with the bomb, tapping the flings up with the tries on the right side. Will they be able to get it? No! That's huge for Elegant Crusaders on this defense.
Ooh, and Ferrari's going, but here's the thing, New Horizon goes the opposite way, they get 2 clams in! They're going so close to 1 point, they got the lead, and that's gonna be to open. One more clam, that's all that New Horizon needs. Elegant Crusaders, here comes a power clam, can it go in there?
Oh my goodness. What an end to that game. It looked a little bit shaky when Miss Popgun went down, but once the rest of New Horizons was able to come in and, man, and that jump from Ichigo at the end to deny Elegant Crusaders overtime, just great work there as a team.
Miss Popgun with her bombs got some pretty amazing kills, got that power clam down, took the space away from EC, and with that space that she took away, she was able to help her team get forward, get that armor off, get them all the rest of her team to go left side around the map, pushing through. She got a bomb kill and distracted. She got the try and got good comms that there was one on snipe, meaning that the only thing, that was left was all the members of her team pushing on that left side. Even though she went down, that try was way out of position, and that allowed her team to get 2 power clams in, and the rest of the clams that they got from killing some of the members with those bombs that Miss Popgun threw.
And here we are heading over to Splat Zone's Mako Mart. Both of those teams were running those rollers, and then we did have AJ on that Tri-Slosher. I think that's going to be very, very favorable for New Horizons here. Elegant Crusaders was holding that lead for the vast majority of the game by keeping New Horizon constantly one down. Even if Elegant Crusaders went 2 down themselves, Snapper is kind of like that on defense, to where you can really stall out with just 1 or 2 people. But that's not the case on Mako Mart. You go 2 down and you're finding yourself on your back foot extremely quickly.
Yeah, being on your back foot on that map, especially with the short range of the comps, can be quite difficult. We really did see Zenith go. I was saying their name quite frequently, but that Nautilus just able to shred any of the members on New Horizon. Didn't matter in the end. It didn't really matter too much in the end, but I'm definitely thinking that the Nautilus pick has to come back.
Yeah, and that Inkjet can be so dominating, particularly towards that left snipe area. Getting for example, a Fire Fin, which I know that that Flare plays on the side of New Horizons. Getting them to fall back can be so huge for them.
Yeah, now coming into the Zones Mako game, one of the most common and most popular maps. I'm liking to see. Oh, wait! Where'd the knot go? Who brought the undercover?
Oh my gosh! It's a squid after my own heart. We do have Zenith there on the vanilla undercover. Those mines in such a small zone, and that splashdown can just single-handedly cap it. Big brain play from Zenith here.
I haven't seen anyone go off with this thing since, I want to say, Base Cat in like 2019. Okay, I haven't seen you play Blob all the time.
Yeah, we do have Elegant Crusaders in control of the zone 4 now. Those mines are going to start detonating. This is when the vanilla undercover. No, they go down. That is a cap for New Horizons as they work forward and try and clear that left plat. It looks like there's one more player over on that left side, but not being found out.
Not being found out at all. Wait, this in zone? That's the machine in zone. The top one looking to try and find the spot, but doesn't get them in time. Has their teammate trade them out. But this zone for Elegant Crusaders is gonna be here for just temporary. They lost too many members to really hold on. Except they're still holding on. 1010 is just holding his zone before we even have like really any fight. These zones are still somehow neutral.
Yeah, and Elegant Crusaders does not have a huge penalty to clear, and they also have a lot of specials almost ready. That Booyah Bomb from the 52 definitely going to be very useful in stalling out those players on New Horizon on that left side as that armor does come out. The stalling pressure that New Horizons has. Oh, 1010 nearly getting a pick there, having to fall back from the missiles. This is very well a cap for New Horizons.
Very, very good. As Pixel cleans up some of those kills. That bomb rush coming up from the Fire Fin and being escorted by that Booyah Bomb really allowed New Horizons to take the space they needed and cap that zone. And now that Pixel's locked in this great position as a roller, unfortunately they gave it up to the slashing machine, but that was such a good positioning brought to them by their team's great clutch.
And there's 2 over on that left side. Pixel having to take that 2v1, but they do have their charger friend Kai up on that left side. Does look like they're going to be able to clear that penalty here as those missiles come out, but Elegant Crusaders does have specials to try and counter that. 2 down for EC. Just Zenith in that zone, and that splashdown putting in the work, but not enough work. New Horizon getting the picks as they need to maintain clear penalty and pull lead here.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really difficult for Elegant Crusaders to get in here. They have a splash out. That's their best opportunity of especially getting here. Now that they have their armor, that's a new one, but if splashdown is your best option, you're in a rough spot, but somehow, some way they get the zone.
And that zone cap is huge because they bought themselves time all the way down at 13 remaining. But EC, they don't have enough players on the board, and the 52 going down means that New Horizon has the time to be able to work their way up and start prepping a stronger defense.
Stronger defense is exactly what they need. Missiles being ready for the defense, really close to that armor. Elegant Crusaders, again, they really... The specials that they have, but somehow they just... I'm still talking, and they just say, okay, we want zone now. They get zone, and they lose it immediately, just as fast as they get it.
Yeah, but they have that splashdown from the K-Machine. They have the Booyah from the 52. So once they be able to get in here, they will be able to get rather quickly. And just the Fire Fin left standing on the side of New Horizons, that this is the time for them to set up that defense that their comp is built so heavily around.
They really need these two Fizzy Bomb weapons to go off. Fizzy Bombs are the way that EC is able to hold this. Unfortunately, Kai has that wall, but also fortunately, Kai has that wall, so you might be able to get a cheeky pick off on the Charger here, and that would be insane if New Horizons loses their Charger with that Bomb Rush going into these last moments.
These specials start flying. Unfortunately, the Zenith getting picked from that Booyah Bomb. 2 left standing on EC as it's a 2-2 situation. It's just the Galugas. They can't really do anything on their own. They're just trapped on that side.
Oh my gosh, the machine just walked into a Bomb Rush. Not the ideal spot. Walked around the corner into a Bomb Rush. Terrible opportunity. Here goes a splashdown. Can it get zone? Not quite, but their team is just helping. Again, Elegant Crusaders, just get the zone when they want it.
Yeah, they always are able to get that into that zone, but they're not really able to lock and hold here. Zenith mining that zone, the 52 in it. This is a scrap, but they don't have any health from either side. That Booyah Bomb quickly being popped in a panic. It is enough to keep the zone neutral, and that pick on the Thunder is huge because they were the only one really in that zone sticking it out. Really, EC needs to get in here and hold, but they only have 15 seconds left. They do, once again, have that splashdown on that left side. Are they going to be able to cap? Maybe it's a 3-3 situation, but it goes. They got it! We are going into overtime.
Can they hold? They always get the zone, but they can never hold. They have to hold here from here on out. It's going to be so difficult, though.
Oh no, when they go 2 down, New Horizons coming in, getting the picks that they need. That is it for Elegant Crusaders in round 1. Obviously, moving on for SOS's Swiss round robin. That being said, just to talk about their comp for a moment, because I saw that comp and I was like, this is fascinating. It is a very specific Mako Zones comp. You have the double fizzies to clear either of those crossover zones. There's just so much damage that can be done there. Like you mentioned, they were able to get that cap whenever they wanted at any time, but weren't really able to get the setup that you could see that they were trying to go for. New Horizons showing GG. You may have gotten 3rd in alpha, but we're mid-level gamers now.
Ooh, true. That is something that is very, very interesting. But I like the the undercover pick. I thought it was unique and fresh, but again, except the opposite teams this time, because last time was New Horizons struggling to get it, like having any way to get in on Clan Blitz. This time it was EC, Elegant Crusaders, who kind of it felt like they didn't have the specials to get them in, but they said we don't care about what specials we have. We're just gonna get zone. But as you were saying, they couldn't lock it out because after those splashdowns, after those splashdowns, they kind of just died. They didn't die during splashdown, which I found absolutely hilarious because it's like splashdown. You're pretty much supposed to die after the end of it.
It is weird because like on Mako, like that, like I know like double splashdown. We're in the final days of Splatoon 2, but honestly, like I could see that working there. Unironically, and because the zone on Mako is so small, like you get a splashdown on a corner of that zone, and like you're forcing that into neutral.
Yeah, it's hard on that zone though because it's a unique zone. Most zones don't have a giant cushion in the middle of it, and that cushion, it's weird because it doesn't block the ink that spreads onto the zone, but it blocks the damage of the splashdown onto the zone.
Excuse me.
So, like, if somebody's on the other side of that pillow, the ink somehow paints them because Splatoon 2 Splashdown kind of like paints wherever it wants to, but it doesn't really kill what it needs to.
Yeah, I see it as a painting tool, particularly there. Since you and I are stalling... Oh my, this is a very exciting match. Grillers with a side of... What is that? AV. That is Aquatic Vanguard and the Wiggly Phantoms are returning?
Oh my gosh. These teams were alive when I played Comp, and I haven't played Comp since 2020.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wiggly Phantoms arrived Like gradually leaving comp when I was baby comp. So I'm very excited to see this team play. I know they're playing at Riptide together, so they're probably just putting in the hours before they devour. At Riptide.
Okay,
Listen,
Rock.
I'm having fun with it.
Oh, we are having fun with it until somebody mentions Blob Kit and then we die.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I had to do it.
How could you do this to me? You know how I feel. Oh my god, sprinkler storm. Anyway.
Yeah, I've got sprinkler too.
Oh man.
I'm vibing. I'm just hoping that everyone realizes that there's gonna be a second set that your weapon has. So just imagine, think of the machine in this game or in the last game. It had like bomb rush point sensor. Its original Stingray variant was broken because of Stingray, but who uses the Stingray variant anymore?
Yeah,
when it got its fizzy bomb, it like went crazy. Everyone like the weapons kind of like changed around. Weapons all just change around depending on what they get. It's really, really, really hilarious. So if you get a good set early, just know you're not going to get another good set ever again.
Yeah, and speaking of lands that are happening, we have Brush on the side of Wiggly Phantoms. I believe that it was BLT. Okay, never mind. So Brush is going to be commentating Shine, not with me, but I will be there when he is.
Shine?
That's cool. Shine? Oh my god, thank you for asking. Shine is in 14 hours, 30 minutes, and 31 seconds. That's when my plane leaves. Wow.
Thank you, Skipbot.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Reborn, I know was playing at Riptide. I'm not sure with who, I can't recall off the top of my head, but Wiggly Phantoms, man, it's just so nice seeing all these teams who are playing at LANs, who are recently low ink bands, like, everybody heading into Splatoon 3, like, it's really cool, Genie.
It's really, for me, it's really awesome to see all the people, like, slowly crawl their way back, especially with all the news that we've had in, like, the past, I want to say, 7 hours. I went to work, we had, like, no news whatsoever, and then I came back from work, and we had all the news. It was, it's really exciting to see the community like this. It's really exciting to see them active and involved, and really
excited.
It's very exciting. It's getting me so much. My body is Reggie for Splatoon 3 because. Did
you just say Reggie?
Yes.
Was that on purpose?
Well, would my body be Doug now? I don't think it would be Doug. It's still Reggie to me.
Oh my goodness.
Well, anyway, with that, I gotta get back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's enough Reggie Suzume talk for today.
So, I know Reborn on the side of the Grillers is new. New to that team. This might be not their first tournament playing with the Grillers, but as a member of the roster.
This is I remember seeing them with 78 with they were playing. So I remember I was on the mic for it, and my brain, I just had a long.
SOS 78. You confused me. Okay,
sorry.
yeah.
You're the 78. What weapon is 78? Yeah, tournament 78.
Oh my gosh. I know Reborn was subbing for quite a hot minute with the Grillers there, but first time on the main roster, and I know Aquatic Vanguard and Grillers, those are two teams that like work together a lot and scrim within a house server. So looking forward to see that synergy come out as opponents to teammates.
One thing we didn't get to mention is I was going to say Rainmaker on this map. I want to see Devi play Splashdown Hydra because of Splashdown on this map, and it's really good at defending. Because Hydra on this map at defending is actually kind of bad.
Yeah,
and Devi on anything else other than Hydra and like the other Splatlings is really, sorry Devi, kind of difficult. You're definitely a Splatling main.
Devi finding herself in some trouble on that snipe does get picked, so the Wiggly Phantoms are going to be able to grab this. They get it to that left side, but a lot of smoke and no fire. That push really quickly coming to a close. Grillers very well positioned here for a defense.
Yeah, Grillers are positioned for defense, but they need to go on offense. Even though the Rainmaker is, like, the lead is not in the favor, 78 is not much of a lead at all.
That'll be over in a blink of an eye, especially with that Booyah Bomb about to come out. They also have that stamp that can be very useful in clearing either side here if they can manage to get behind it. But no, the Rainmaker going down, shut down by that K-Pro, and it doesn't look like the Grillers are going to be able to snowball this any further.
I think they can still snowball a little bit because there's jumps. Twig needs to come in here with this brush and get some kills. Devi, I was thinking I want Devi to get that item, but Reborn's going for it. Going for the points here. A little bit good lead, won't win the game, but good enough so their team can really start locking down this mid. You want to lock it down, let the brush have its space, let the Hydra control from high grounds, because Hydra in mid here is disgusting. If you get Hydra up here, it's GG over, except Snack? Excuse me?
Snack coming around, getting that very clean, like, wall corner peak tri-slasher moment, whatever you want to call that. Now going to be able to take control of site. They have to be able to clear that pro out of street. They get the Maker. So we want to be careful here, because Snack, I don't want to see him get either. Twig with the hammer coming in and getting dropped on. This is very scrappy right here. Honestly, I think they're going to be able to pull lead.
They should be. Never mind. Devi's here, locking it down with the Hydra. As always, tell me something new. Great sight lane for the Hydra. Needs to start unloading. Has to watch out Gozy for the splashdown. Luckily, the team's able to get it in time. But oh my goodness, this could go anywhere.
Yeah, and that defense that the Hydra is able to provide can be very, very massive. I've never really seen it like that. But the Wiggly Phantoms, all they need to do is grab the fish. It is popped, but it does look like it's about to reset. That splashdown maybe keep enough paint down to be able to stall it. They grab the fish. They are pulling lead. That is it. 10 remaining is very, very huge of a defendable lead here for the Wiggly Phantoms.
Absolutely massive spot, because that's really all you. I want to say Grillers have to touch the Rainmaker pedestal. Not physically, they don't have to get lead, but 6th is the next closest checkpoint to them, because the best checkpoint here is like at that 11 mark, and Wiggly Phantoms got past that.
But once again, they have that hammer out, they have the armor out. This can be very, very good for them. But the hammer going down to the splashdown as the Grillers try and force down that right street. Jump on top of Snipe, looking right down on that fish. Are they going to be able to shark this? They drop and then they get picked for it.
Oh, Jub, you had Dapples. We're here on IPL today, not Dapple. Oh my goodness, they don't have range here. There's no range on NA.
Here it is. They're painting the pedestal. They're pulling up. Oh no, they go down to a suction bomb at 16 remaining.
Reborn has to pop this Rainmaker, but can't because the respawns are just too close for Wiggly Phantom.
Yeah, and that is a forced jump out. That push coming to a close at 16 remaining. Wiggly's now going to be able to push up and get mid.
Yeah, good opportunity for them to really start getting their weapons in position. All that Hydra, Devi, again, just on those attics are such a good spot. You want to get this, you want to get Twig's brush, run around, doing whatever it wants. And Sneck going down with the Rainmaker in that position isn't great, but it's actually a really defendable spot for Wiggly Phantoms. So honestly, if you will have your Rainmaker die, that's one of the best spots to do it. Because where are the Grillers supposed to come to get that thing?
Yeah, they're gonna have to go all the way around, expose themselves to any fire from window. Snack dropping, nearly getting a pick on the pro, going to have to shark that out. A very, very clean jump from Snack there. The Grillers are the ones on their back foot here with 20 seconds remaining and one down. They do have time, but they have to be able to get the fish and charge those specials. But the Wiggly Phantoms, they have that splashdown, they have that Booyah Bomb. I don't know. This is looking pretty hairy. Are they going to be able to do it?
It's going to be tough. Oh, Jump's going to come down here and go for the splashdown, but it gets shut down. Oh, but the little Rainmaker, they've lost their Rainmaker. They need to pop it. No time. Grillers are not able to get to that quite in time. It was looking to be such a good spot for the Grillers because they had some specials, but they didn't have the space that they need. And Jub avenged themselves this time, coming from the top ropes. Then again, didn't get the Rainmaker, but took the space away, so the Rainmaker did die.
Yeah, really good defense there from the Wigglies. I think that splashdown. Yeah, the Wigglies.
I love that name.
Yeah, it was clean. That push there from them in the mid part of the game where they managed to pull lead, just very nice. I really liked the Grillers comp. I think that hammer and that splashdown, there's a lot of synergy there in terms of repop potential and just gunning it forward. But I don't think they ever had the pieces at the right place at the right time.
No, they never had enough of their members alive. They were close to getting it to that 16 point marker, but that wasn't quite close enough. Unfortunately, all going down to the same splat bomb, just coming around, rolling it down that ledge on that corner. But I did like. I know it sounds weird, but I thought the Hydra pick, the vanilla Hydra, was exactly what Devi needed. And just for everyone,
how is that weird? That's awesome.
No, it's because of I'm telling somebody to pick up Splashdown over Ink Armor. What world of Splatoon 2 am I living in? Never has Splashdown ever been better than Ink Armor. In the history of this game, for 5 years, Ink Armor has been better than Splashdown. No ifs, ands, or buts.
I just think on that map, like, you get into pit and you repop with the Splashdown and like a heartbeat. You can't do that with Ink Armor, and then like it's pit, so it's all claustrophobic, and that splash damage just is everywhere. So like, I agree with you.
But yeah. And also, shout out to all the people that had to play Hydra, had to wait for it to come out in the game because you had to wait for weapons to come out in Splatoon 2, and then just to get that bad kit.
Oh no!
Yeah, I feel bad. That weapon came out like 6 months after launch, and they got that. Oh.
We have a very early scrap here. It's turning out to be rather even. Wiggly's having a power climb, but probably going to have to ditch it because there are 4 members of the Grillers up, and they are getting ready to get in their faces, taking control of that right side. Probably soon the left is huge for them, and 15 power climbs is something you can push off of, especially with 1 down on the side of the Wigglies. And here we go.
Yep, this is time for Grillers to get their space. They have the space. Wheel Bomb going to be coming out. Taku, good spot. Oh, I think they almost missed it. Ooh, luckily, Jub's able to live that though because that Booyah Bomb went a little bit past. But there's no one alive in Wiggly Phantom to really stop the Grillers here.
Yeah, and Jub getting shut down on that left side, popping that Booyah Bomb. This can very well be a strong stall. 29 remaining, and they're all gradually going back and getting clams. They Rush Twig to make those rotations quick, but just the Wigglies are not able to find their way in. As I say that, it is just Twig remaining, so that push is as good as dead. But getting it down to 11 remaining in an opening gambit is huge for the Grillers.
Even though Tux didn't get the kill, didn't really get the kill on Twig very quickly. Keeping Twig stalled when there was 8 clams in mid, the only 8 clams that the Grillers could really get at that point, kind of forced their team, the rest of the Grillers, to kind of sit in no man's land waiting for those those clams to come back in the basket, and they all died before those clams could come back in. So a great stall from Tux.
Both teams here fighting for control of these fans, but it's the Grillers once again with the clam economy advantage. Reborn trying to pop armor. A bomb rolled at his feet does get that pick. Will the Wigglies be able to shift some momentum off of that? But they are 2 down, and the Grillers are holding not only the clam advantage again, but also the special advantage as they try and push in here with that hammer and that clam. This is a dunk for them, but will they be able to clear penalty?
Ooh, they should. They really should. That's a complete wipe. That is a wipeout. Oh, wait, that's not in this game yet. Wait, with that thing, yeah, the clams are going to be coming in. Hopefully the jumps can come in, because that could secure this game.
Oh, huge. Devi getting in a jump does get those clams in, and that is a KO. The Grillers showing their stuff on Clam Blitz as we move on to game 3.
The Phantoms came in here thinking they can just wiggle their way in here and just stomp all over the Grillers, and the Grillers are like, hold our beer. Hold our beer. We are not going to roll over like this.
Hold our beer, and we're taking you out back over those coals. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Zones Reef. Oh gosh.
Okay. Who do you think has the edge here?
I say it every time I see a Splatling player on this map. All Splatling players, we all love this map. It's because it's great. It's our home. We love it here. Chargers hate it here. Sit on that bridge. We go splat, splat, splat. We get kills all day. If we get absolutely bombarded, then we die and we sit in spawn, and it's a 4v3, then our team loses. The longer Devi sits on bridge, the longer the Grillers win, the easier they win the game. The moment Devi can't... This could be over. If Devi doesn't go off bridge, the game could be over. Then again, just because the Hydra's sitting up top Debbie has to also get the splats. So if Wiggly Phantom somehow all find a way to wiggle their way underneath the zone where Debbie can't hit them, that's their only opportunity. If Debbie's not off bridge.
Twig is a really interesting player to watch because they will play these things like the Kenza Octobrush or the Vanilla Octobrush and then go to an E-leader. I know from experience that this map mode, Splat Zones Reef, is one that Twig does play Octobrush, which we've been seeing extensively so far this set. So that brush is just going to be such a pain to deal with. Also, what's going to be a pain to deal with? Sneck on the side of Wigglies. Yes. I know Sneck's looking out to go out with a bang because he is retiring from competitive Splatoon, but
Splatoon 2?
Splatoon in general.
What?
Not moving forward to Comp Splatoon 3. So this is
it. Respect. Yo, Debbie swapping.
Wait, what?
Maybe following it up. Okay. Definitely interesting. I've played Hydra on this map, and I think Hydra's good on this map. But then again, I love Remix, so I'm not gonna say no to more Remix.
Yeah, I really like that double Booyah comp coming out from the Grillers. That could just be so useful, and like you push somebody off a bridge, then you catch them in their main, so that way they can't back up. Reborn going in, trying to get picks, does get shut down by Navy on that Nautilus, but Navy's the only one left as the Grillers cap that zone, forced to fall all the way back.
This is time. Booyah bombs are ready from both sides of Grillers. This could be disgusting. Throw one car, throw one main. It could be absolutely over for this push from Wiggly Phantom, and that would be a massive amount of time gain. Especially with those point sensors coming out, something that's underrated. But that Booyah bomb not going to find the space that exactly need, but they still have one more remaining.
Yeah, they also have that hammer to keep control of Street and that armor. The armor coming out online as Reborn takes this fight on that left. Does get the pick, still in a scrap, does go down to Tux there on the 85. The Grillers to 3 down, it's just Debbie left on that Remix. Probably not going to be able to maintain zone here on their own.
Oh no, those bomb pressure coming out, that's exactly how you force that heavy back. You can't peek it, and if you can spam it out with bombs, you'll really be able to get it out, force it out of position, especially with torpedoes. Spotlings really hate torpedoes.
And you have these torpedoes coming out every which way, right? Trying to keep the members of the Grillers back, but they do get 2 picks. So able to break their way back in the zone and force that into neutral. Taku probably going to be able to cap here, does, and apply some very nice penalty points. But they have so much to catch up on that backside of their own home base so far.
A lot of space, but again, this good-looking set that they have here, so far from the Grillers, with their Booyah Bomb setups, because there isn't a super great entry special from which Wiggly Phantom's getting here. And we're really seeing it. They have to take their 1v1s, they have to take their fights, and so far, they've kind of just staggered their way down.
Yeah, and they have that Inkjet and that Nautilus, or the Splashdown and the Inkjet ready to go. 2 down on the side of the Grillers is good for them, but Grillers, they're clearing their penalty points, so Sneck going to take the opportunity to work their way all the way up, put some pressure on that backline. They get the pick on Debbie, so this is looking better and better for the Wigglies as Sneck tries to shark out Twig from dropping on that zone.
That's the only special that they have that can really make Debbie move.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Wait. Do you see this?
Wait, what? We got like a flank and then a back cap and a neutralization, but not great in time. That really actually brought all the Wiggly Phantoms back to zone, which is huge because they were all the way up in the Grillers' car.
Yeah, the Grillers were holding that side on that left side. They had 2 players over there. The Wiggly Phantom tries to push up into their main, but not really able to capitalize on that position because the Wigglies are still in control. Tux trying to hunt down Reborn here, does get the kill with a suction bomb as the Wigglies full lead. We're in a very, very spicy 4v3 situation as that Inkjet does come online. Wigglies, gosh, that's 3 down on the Grillers. This could be very, very huge for them. That's just Reborn left standing at the... I'm probably unable to get into the zone, does neutralize it, but that is just for a flash of an eye as Sneck grabs that cap right on back. Wiggly Phantoms taking game 3 in a lead swap clutch situation.
Absolutely. I was surprised we weren't even got a neutralization out of that. Somehow, some way, but the Wiggly Phantoms really just showed some really good pop-off moments at the end there as a team and getting a lot of kills really quickly onto Grillers, which really allowed them to stall. But yeah, it was a very interesting, good, close set, and I really enjoyed those two teams really brawling it out. Definitely like seeing these teams back again as always. Really showing up for the final days. We do not have an SOS next week. I looked at the calendar, so that the calendar tells me that there is no SOS next week.
There might be. Stay tuned in the IPL server for official announcements. That decision really hasn't been made, but we will see. I know. Shh. Honestly, that clutch there from Sneck, and I forget what other member it was on the side of the Wigglies, but keeping Twig from getting access to that left side and then shutting down those two members of the Grillers that were just meandering in left tree, or their own tree, I guess, the Grillers' tree. That shutting that down and forcing them into a stagger right there, I believe, is what won them the game.
I have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, because there was something going on over there. I wanted to see it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can get maybe awesome in Splatoon 3 replays. Oh wait, we have replays.
Oh my god.
So I'm really debating because I've got 2 capture cards and I've got 2 switches because my old Switch is like dying and it has to sit in its dock, and I have an OLED because I had to get a new Switch when I use handheld mode because my old Switch is dying. Now I'm questioning, do I get 2 Splatoon 3s?
So, consider it. Also, maybe wait until it goes on sale.
Wait until it goes on sale! Then the Switch will be dead!
Bro, my god.
Bro,
then you don't waste your money.
Splatoon 1 hasn't gone on sale!
Okay. Is that true? Because Splatoon 2 went on sale, like, early in the summer, I think. It was like on sale for like $40 on Amazon. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure that happened.
They've done bonuses with Splatoon where you can, if you buy Splatoon, you can get this. But I end up spending more money in the long run anyway.
Oh my goodness. All right, Genie. Speaking of Splatoon 3.
Speaking of Splatoon 3.
We will be right back with more information on Splatoon 3.
Wait, but we're still doing Splatoon 2 tournament. Because
yeah, well, you know, let's look forward, not back.
Yo, true.
Alright, be right back, everyone. Stay fresh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SOS 80. I am Genie7, joined by Skepadillions. And Skep, are you intimidated by these croutons?
I am eating these croutons.
Cool.
Sia croutons. I think that's supposed to be like I see a crouton, but it's Sia, the Loink team. So, and croutons who just disbanded. So very, very interesting here. You've got to pick up with a disbanded team, freshly disbanded.
Wait, I have a joke.
Sia, go for it, Genie.
So a crouton that has just disbanded, wouldn't that just be a crumb?
Oh my god.
A Sia crumbs?
A Sia crumb.
a Sia crumbs. It's like that's like the bottom of the cookie jar. A Sia crumbs.
A Sia crumbs? You know what? We're calling them that.
Okay. Yes. Wait. The dueling tents. Oh my goodness. I was gonna say I haven't seen this in a long time. I saw this.
Yeah, we have
Vanilla Scrub.
Vanilla on the vanilla tent and Scrub on the vanilla tent. That is positively crazy. We have the tent trying to get on the tower, the CDS like doing their work around there. We do see Intimidation Factor is the first team to take tower. I think the fact that is croutons. The crumbs at the first check.
Oh, missiles just coming out. Oh, it's missiles and suction bomb coming out absolutely clutch. And now Intimidation Factor is trying to find their way back in. They have the member advantage, but it's hard to push in with a 10 umbrella. Except Scrub has made it work from mid. Very good job from Intimidation Factor. Maybe they can U-turn out and get the Landorus. I mean, sorry, wrong game.
Landorus?
Yeah, Landorus is the or Incineroar, one or the other. If you know Intimidate and you play Pokemon, you know those two Pokemon.
Okay, yeah, I know that's a Pokemon, but we have Intimidation Factor at the first checkpoint. They have the Inkjet online. They have the armor online as well. Going to be able to pop it, but can they clear this checkpoint? It can be such a bother to clear this checkpoint given how massive it is. But the Tower Rider going down, Scrub is not able to tap the tower in time. That is a even break for both of these teams.
Absolutely huge, absolutely massive detriment to Intimidation Factor. They just got stopped with that 1 point. Now they have to do the entire checkpoint again when they get there. But Sia Croutons trying to make their moves. They want to go back and make their way all the way back and form in a piece of bread.
Yeah, they do get 2 picks here as that tower drops into the pit. Vimo trying to push up. Somebody gets the Tower Rider from behind, so having to fall back to the moment and regroup that. But the tent, Vanilla pushing up, able to get some picks on the board, splatting Fletch, and that second checkpoint has fallen as well as the members of Intimidation Factor are coming fresh out of spawn. This could be a KO here, and this is GG's. The bubble getting the picks that they need to, followed with that Booyah Bomb. Aren't you glad you're going to be seeing that one in Splat 3?
I have to say, I'm excited to see that. I hope that no bubble weapons get spot bomb, or they remove the combo from being able to happen. But that's another story for another
Wait,
time.
that's the whole thing.
I don't say
like
that.
bubbles.
I don't want to remind you of the thing that we talked about earlier. But I like bubbles, but I throw a splash wall into my bubbles, and that splash wall disappears.
You know what I really enjoy? I enjoy when you throw a splash wall into another splash wall, and your splash wall goes away.
I love when I throw I think I have like sprinkler or something, and I throw my splash wall into the Rainmaker before it appears. That's my favorite thing.
Splash wall.
I love splash wall. It's my favorite sub to use. I use it on the 52 gal, Ken's 52 gal, because I love splash wall. Don't hate me for using Ken's 52 gal. I don't play the weapon because it's good. I play it because it has splash wall, and it's good. I love splash wall.
We can shake to that. We can shake to that.
I get on Splatoon 1 to play splash wall.
I'm a splash wall main.
I remember getting.
Are you gonna be playing Squeezer in Splatoon 3 because Squeezer has splash wall?
Maybe depending on if my finger wants to work again.
Yo, that's so valid. Honestly, and you know what's another thing I noticed this last game, and I was gonna bring it up, but we didn't really have time because the Seiya Croutons just went in there and they KO'd. But like, this is Essence, Seiya, and Croutons. That's why it's a Seiya.
Oh, yeah.
So it's 3 teams.
Oh my gosh.
Don't you love when people tell you who they are with their pickup name? I love that.
That actually does. No, that's really helpful. Instead of being called like Epic Gamers 24 or whatever.
Yeah, I also love the team Epic Gamers 24.
Her Gamers Sunglasses. If anybody remembers Epic Gamer Sunglasses, we tore it up and got 3rd place in Midpoint Original.
Wait, you did that?
Yeah, we were Epic Gamer Sunglasses. Yep. Back in the beginning of Midpoint, first tournament. But ooh, these Tenebrillas. I love to see some more Tenebrillas. This time we got a camo tent coming up for Vanilla. And Scrub.
It's a mirror match once again between Scrub and Vanilla.
Very, very good. Very, very good to see the pop. Pop going to Seiya Croutons. That should allow them to get some space. The missiles are going to be forcing them back and not allowing them to get the early Rainmaker space. Losing Tetris is going to allow Intimidation Factors to really go ham on it.
Yeah, and that is a two down. We do have Hermit on that right side going to be forced to jump out, but Wumi's jumping in. That jump is going to be quite difficult because you have 3 members of the other team looking right at you. Ooh, great hammer from Vanilla there. Using that to stall the Rainmaker, get that pick. 2 down from Intimidation Factor means that this is very quickly going to be the Crumbs' opportunity to push, especially once they have that Armor and Booyah online. When
all the Crumbs come together and they unite as one, they can become the epic gamer bread that we've all hoped. Because that's what croutons are. They're just
stale bread.
Not stale bread. You cook the bread. You can cook the bread in like either butter, oil, add some flavors and seasonings to it, depending on what kind of croutons you want to get. Sorry, this is the Genius Chef 7 coming out.
Vivo jumping in. Ooh, and the hammer getting the pick on the aggressor on the Rainmaker, but the one of the shots is still there. Vimo's in a lot of trouble. Did manage to pull lead here, but on Rainmaker Manta getting across that cut, that happens in the blink of an eye. So Crouton's not going to be able to feel comfy in this. Getting 2 picks, though, means that this push can continue to stall out if they manage to get the pop, but the zap goes down. That's a lot of suction power gone really quickly. The armor coming out from Intimidation Factor. This could be a solid defense here. Just a couple more points in favor of the Croutons.
I was gonna say, how is Woomy still alive? Woomy is looking around trying to go, do kicks. Not in the right game to do wall kicks quite yet, but oh my goodness. Scrub, don't fall off the map! Spectator Cam, why do you do this to me? No! Scrub! And the stamp too! Oh no.
My heart, Intimidation Factor, they have those 3 specials online. The Booyah Bomb coming out, going to force it all into a little bit of a sticky situation. They're fine though. The missiles coming out with that armor as Seiya Croutons does prep for another push. I would add that they have that hammer ready to go, and that's been very, very useful. Oh, but the hammer goes down! This could be a very good push for them!
The suction bomb coming up from the top rope, somehow, some way stopping and that Rainmaker. That was a clear escorting path from Seiya Crouton. they would have rushed that Rainmaker all the way down on past that drop onto the second match. But somehow, some way, they didn't. And Woomy's still alive. How is Woomy still alive?
No, but they managed to get it to 52 remaining. That's still the exact same point where it was last time, going 3 down in that process. The pop going to go in favor of Intimidation Factor.
Intimidation Factor coming back. They need to take mid. They have been held in their spawn for 2 minutes. 2 minutes has Woomy been just chaotically holding them. But ooh, finally, now they've got some space. They've got their teammates jumping in. This should be somewhat of an opportunity for them, but having one of your K shots or your K shot holding this Rainmaker is difficult. Now, especially with that Booyah Bomb, that stamp, this is really looking difficult.
That it is. Seiya Cruton's in control of that Rainmaker. They're going to very quickly be able to take it into Street. We have Vimo and Woomy putting up a very nice pinch on that Rainmaker for that drop, getting it to below 30 remaining. That is a defendable lead in the final minute of the game.
Woomy's going in. Woomy gets one, gets traded out, and here goes the Rainmaker for the dunk. Dunk that gets stopped. The pedal at 1-0.
Okay, so Intimidation Factor, you have 50 seconds to get that Rainmaker from your Hermit is vibing and Hermit is dead. Woomy coming in and getting picked as well. Intimidation Factor has 40 seconds to get this from their own pedestal to a knockout.
Well, these Brellas are coming in tight, and there goes Scrub with that stamp early, gets a jump out. Wait, did the jump die? I think pretty sure the jump died. With the flank on the Rainmaker, can somebody help the Rainmaker? Help the Rainmaker, protect the president!
Not enough. Intimidation Factor going 2 down in that exchange. Fletch trying to keep the Rainmaker alive here. They do get that pop, but they have 15 seconds to grab that and to get it to that knockout with overtime. 2 down in Intimidation Factor means that this is going to be a lot more hairy as the Seiya Croutons pushes up. We got Vimo getting a pick, trying to push into the street, gonna go down to a bomb. Will Intimidation Factor be able to capitalize off this? And the answer is no, because Vanilla has the fish. That is GG's from Seiya Croutons, taking game 2 out of 3.
Oh my goodness. What absolute heckin' chaos was that? Amount of chaos that was ensued on this game is almost like Chaos 1 over Order in this. Wait. This just in. Big Man has informed me that. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay. Oh, so Chaos did win. Okay, I forgot about that. How could I forget the Final Fest? I'm joking, by the way. But yeah, Seiya Croutons coming out here, and that's really good for them. They're going to be going. They have gone up 2-0 in this set, taking it, but they've now gone 2-1 in their pool sets. So they're hoping that Walter Gaming can probably drop and they can make their way into the Great White bracket. But if not, I forgot what Devin told me before, which bracket they're going in. Is it Hammerhead that's middle?
I think it's Hammerhead. I've been doing this for a long time, and I still mix up Hammerhead and Mako on a daily basis.
I do too. Hammerhead.
Right,
just think Garchomp. Just think Garchomp. Garchomp is second behind. What's Garchomp behind in usage? Oh, Landorus. That's right. Intimidation Factor. Sorry about my Pokemon references. The World Championships were on. I can't wait for Splatoon to be like Pokemon. If anybody ever saw that World Championships of Pokemon, that was insane. The production quality, Unite, Pokemon Go, TCG, VGC, so the Video Game Championships. They had music, they had everything. Even Ed Sheeran came by and stopped by.
Wow.
Ed Sheeran.
Can you imagine a Splatoon concert? You know, like with the like.
Somebody say cringy.
I don't know, projector models, but you have Ed Sheeran there as well.
Yeah, but I've got the Pokemon 25th year anniversary vinyl. It's got like Katy Perry and Post Malone on it. Everyone could say like, oh, cringy Ed Sheeran songs, but like, that's a big name musician to get at a Pokemon event. That's insane for Nintendo.
That is, honestly.
Like, let's be honest. Let us be honest. But yeah, Climb Blitz Humpback Pump Track. As we get into it, Tantabrella is disgusting on this map mode combination. Something that has been used since Tent got its buffs for being able to launch its Brella, and actually the modern playstyle that we see in this day. It was used here.
Used to not be able to launch its Brella Shield?
Its Brella Shield wasn't really good at launching. It was not ideal. You didn't play it like that. You played it as like the regular Brella, with like protecting your teammate. It didn't really launch and didn't move fast. Yeah, it was really stupid of you to ever launch your shield. But
Oh my god.
they changed the place all around. Yeah, something you didn't know, youngin.
Gosh darn it, Genie. Very quickly, we're finding ourselves in a scrap, but it does look like Intimidation Factor does have control of mid. There are those two on that make that 3 on that right side because the tent does try and drop, trying to put a lot of pressure on that elbow.
Oh.
Fletch might find themselves in trouble. The tent getting behind them and getting the pick. Now Vanilla has control of Intimidation Factor Street, and this is huge for them.
Absolutely destroyed Fletch with that 180 shot from behind, sharking through. And this is a great play for Sea of Crotons. They got the bubbles, they got the high ground. They completely avoid the Ultra Stamp on the low ground. This is hilarious.
Well, the Ultra Stamp getting fired, but Luna dropping on that brush. That is huge for them because now they're not going to have to worry about all that damage flashing around all those ledges. 1 clam remaining for Isaiah, but they are going to be able to style this, getting 2 picks on the side of Intimidation Factor. They just can't get out of their street. Intimidation Factor is not able to drop with that tent there.
Get the clams! No, Luna's here to try and get one. Unfortunately, not able to get back in time. No one from the Sea of Crotons really had good mid control. Because look at the mid control for Intimidation Factor. They didn't really give up true neutral mid. They just gave up everything around basket. So at least they'll be able to have their way to come back in. But they've lost 2 members. So all that control that they worked so hard on getting is now completely gone.
And very quickly losing that control as well. The power clam going down. You got to be careful because once you end a push, maintaining control of mid is so important. And it's Isaiah Crotons that are all the way once again up under that basket. 2 picks, but the clam holder going down. The hammer coming out. Very, very good timing for that because now that's clear. But the hammer went down as well. Hermit able to pick up the clam here and might even be able to dunk it. And he does. The Isaiah Crotons continuing to bleed out this push.
Absolutely finessing that movement off of that rail. Coming off so cleanly. And now Scrub's looking to try and take a fight with Vanilla. Somehow, some way, both tents are still alive. Good support from either side of their teams to keep them both alive. But now Vanilla doesn't want to get caught up too much here. Intimidation Factor, they have their specials, but they have 4 clams. That is not enough to even pop basket.
The jump coming in here, the super jump splashdown, going to be able to put a lot of paint down. Fletch using that to get a kill. And now we are in a situation where the Tetras are underneath basket, but they don't have any clams to be able to push. By the time they get these clams, they might be found out. And Hermit and one other member of Isaiah Crotons are doing just that, putting a lot of pressure on their own elbow, and Intimidation Factor is once again on the back foot.
They didn't play objective. Intimidation Factor got 3 kills. They knew where the last member is. Perfect. We'll start throwing clams to each other. 1, 2, 3. I have 2. Wait, we only have 5 clams. That's it. That's the end of your push.
And that happens so much on humpback clams, honestly, because there are only like, what, 7 clam spawns? And it just takes so long to gather clams. You can't just swim around and get them because they might all be gone because your opponents just got finished pushing. And that's exactly what happened to Intimidation Factor, getting all the way up into that elbow. Yeah.
If they play smart. Yeah, you have to really understand the clam spawns in this map. Something you need to really understand going forward in the next game because clam spawns might change. You want to know where they spawn. You need to know, especially if you're a support player, you want to know so you can get your teammates as many clams as possible. As a Sea of Crotons marching their way down, walking fast.
And that's penalty cleared, right? And Luna probably going to be able to dunk the tower. That is 21 remaining. Make that 18. Isaiah Crotons might be done with this push here yet, but as I say that, Luna getting another very clean pick. Luna is on fire this game.
Absolutely on fire. Able to get another one in. Probably gonna go for another. How are you still alive? How are you still alive? How is Luna still alive? Thank you.
I do not know, but now we're in a situation where Isaiah Crotons is under basket. The basket does close, but completely maintaining control of mid. Everything that they have is in the right place right now with 40 seconds remaining. Assuming they don't get down and they don't get wiped, Intimidation Factor is going to have a very hard time getting enough clams in their hands at the right time. Losing that brush as well.
Ow, Scrub with a great play there. But they can't win the game with 0 clams. You are not able to score a point with the basket closed. They have nothing. They need to get to 9. Not just 9. They need to get past 9 in 10 seconds.
And maybe even less than that because, oh, very nice, very clean hammer kill there. Getting that pick. No, that's KO. Isaiah Crotons coming in right underneath that basket and getting the knockout. Wow, what a set.
I have not seen a game that's been knocked out in like that late of the game. that was 100-0. That's
Yeah.
and I honestly, Asia Cretans just how they did make some quite obvious mistakes in the middle. Intimidation factor could not find clams. They could not buy a clam. They could have max money, and merch still would not give them clams. They could have every sea snail in the world, and Spike would still not re-roll his abilities for you to get clams. I don't care how much save scumming you did in Splatoon 1. You could not buy a clam with the money. And that's exactly what happened to Intimidation Factor.
You know, something I want to point out, just once again, Essence just got low ink banned as well. So we saw 2 instances of a low ink team versus versus a recently banned low ink team tonight. We saw basically Vanilla is from Essence and so is Woomy. We saw both of those players tonight. So a little bit of a pickup situation, so it's different, but you know, there we go. In terms of just seeing everybody branch out in terms of skill levels within the game is something that you really only get to see within SOS as a weekly that we have here like every night. Every Wednesday night.
Every night? Wait.
No.
Wait, are you saying me? Why am I only here on Wednesdays?
Do that.
Why am I only here on Wednesdays? Is there some underground thing that's going on here? Is this like some deep sea metro kind of thing?
No.
No. You can say no. I'm talking to Kraken. I'm calling Kraken.
Don't call Kraken. Anyway, that is the end of Nessie's pool. So our seeders are going to take a moment. It's going to be a little bit of a wait here, just because we gotta take all the results from pools and get everybody into the brackets. But we will be back. Jeannie and I will be sticking around, so stay tuned for after the break as we move on the Great White. You are appreciated, and I hope you're enjoying some of the last Splatoon 2 tournaments that we have. So, BRB, everyone.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Top Cut, otherwise known as Great White Bracket in Sink or Swim 80. I am Genie7, joined by the wonderful and always excited How Long Until Shine, Scapadillions.
Oh my god, putting me on the spot like that. Well, did you know that it is 13 hours, 21 minutes, and 22 seconds until my plane takes off, marking the beginning of my personal shine. Thank you. That is the answer. It's just, oh my god.
Most people's shine journeys always start with the travel, or land journeys always start with the travel.
Yeah.
Before we start into talking about these two teams and this awesome set that we're gonna have, go enjoy and find some awesome people. I ran into Esam when I was going to Breeze. That was really cool, and he remembered me from Genesis.
Oh my god. Kyo was on my flight back from OCC.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
That was funny. That's funny. But
All
yeah,
right.
Wahoo Spot Zones. This game, don't worry, we're not playing. I will be spoiling a lot of things in the Splatoon 3 because we've been talking about Splatoon 3. So if you don't want to hear, turn off your headset for about 30 seconds, and then we'll be back to regular Splatoon 2 talk. All right, 3, 2, 1. Wahoo Zones. This is not when it's in Salmon Run mode yet.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for that, actually. Like, it's very, very, very cool, and I'm so looking forward to it. Oh my god. Big zone.
Big Chungus.
Oh my god. Alright, no more Splatoon 3 talk. Alright,
Yep.
we were told
We're
not
back.
to.
Welcome back to Splatoon 2, everybody. Wahoo Spot Zones.
Splatoon 2.
Yeah, I can't wait for the green lights to happen on this map, and like the X's. I can see it, like the bridge.
Oh my god.
Right
okay. So,
I love when the community found that. It took them like a year to.
See, did you know that thing is a time? No.
Like the map was out for a year before everyone realized that. You hadn't played the game yet.
I had not even picked up the NZAP 89 for the first time.
Was that your first love?
Yes, it was. The NZAP
My first love was
89.
the gray. My first love was the gray back in Splatoon 1.
No way! That's crazy.
And then it got cringy ever since then. Everyone hates it. It's got this thing called ink armor in this game, and it's got a respawn cooler in the next game.
My first love was the NZAP 89 with the very loved, well-balanced, thoroughly designed Tenta missiles.
That thing. Oh, yes. Oh. Did you know that NZAP has an invincibility special?
I heard, did you know? My brain went chun. Oh man. Okay.
What?
Splatoon's Wahoo, in terms of things that we will expect to see.
Jet Squelcher.
Really? Okay, I was gonna say, like, Gohan Minaj, who's called Tenta. I'm not sure whether or not they play K-Shot. Tentabrella, I recognize them very strongly. I know they play a lot of SOSs, I just don't have any data there. Half is a player that I'm very excited to see. I love watching them play.
Absolutely. I do want to say missiles. We will be seeing missiles, and we will be seeing an ink armor coming up from either team.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking up the percentage plays. Here, I'm gonna go safe. I'm going to guarantee that each team has at least one ink armor and one missiles. Why? Because we're playing Splatoon 2 Spot Zones.
Yeah, that's very, very accurate.
Is Tenta missiles as good in other modes? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it as good in Turf War as it is in rank modes? Absolutely not. So you guys are gonna enjoy the Splatfest this weekend because there's not gonna be any missiles to play against. But anyway, zones Wahoo. Besides that, K52 can work here. It's got a niche spot. What am I saying? Niche spot. K52. It's got a really good spot here. Slosher, the regular
stage
can actually be good here. Dynamo has a niche spot. Firefin has a pocket position. Then I'm just going off these names because I think
Pelu,
less familiar with these names. I know half. I for sure know half.
On the side of Salute, I think Pelu plays Chargers. I might be misremembering that. I am not sure.
Prophet, I remember. If this is the same Prophet from when I played back in like 2018 when I played against a Prophet.
They play Nautilus, right?
Before that was Nautilus wasn't in the game yet. Like 2018.
Stop doing that to me.
I'm sorry. I'm going back in my mind because I'm seeing so many people that I think are people from my past who aren't.
Oh my god.
But if this is the same Prophet, they used to play Rapid, and they used to be really good with Rapid.
I think I have seen Prophet play Rapid Blaster Pro Deco.
But yeah, I don't think the Prophet I played against spelled their name in all caps. So that's the other thing. So I could be just chatting. I could be chatting for Breeze and like
Breeze.
No, like it's chatting for like explicit word here. But my British friends say chatting for Breeze, and I always make fun of them like for Breeze, the airspray freshener.
Palu on the K shot. That's what it was. Okay, and then we have Kalana on the L3 and Prophet on the Zap. I don't know why I would forget that. Yeah, here we go. Armor missiles.
Armor missiles jet. I was right.
Man, that jet really surprises me, genuinely. I would not have expected that. We do see that Salute does try and cap that zone, but the Junior goes down. That's going to take down a lot of their painting power, but of course, Quad Shooter can paint regardless. Salute getting the first cap there, working their way up towards those specials as well. The Booyah Bomb, not really going to be enough to cap the zone, but does neutralize it. Is Chase going to be able to hold here?
Absolutely with these bubbles. If Chase wants to pop those bubbles, smart letting their team come in. But I think they're going to go for it. I think they can get this massive play. Chase coming up here. No! Goes down to the suction. Dying breath. But that should give their team enough time to come in and give them that royal salute, but those missiles have forced them back. Now it's time for the real.
Yeah, the armor jet coming out very quickly, able to recap that zone. We are starting our 4v4 skirmish with that Booyah Bomb. The Booyah Bomb and the Ray getting a nice dabble between each other. Team Slay, that is a wipe in their favor. So how does Salute not get locked out from here?
They have to not get locked out by not dying all. That is...
No.
Whoa. So I'm going back to the basic and easy plays, because that's the things that make sense. Coming up against a Jet Squelcher, coming up against that Gal with that wall and that Booyah Bomb at the ready, it's going to be difficult, but they need to have their special coordination. Those bubbles are going to be key. How much work can they get done with that? That is exactly what they need to do. But the Ray shutting them from midair.
Yeah, getting a pick on that Inkjet is going to prevent Salute from breaking back in through Force 3 down. It is just Prophet on the Zap. Can Prophet get the triple? No, he's going to opt to jump out. 22 seconds remaining. This is dangerous territory just because of how difficult it is to break back into Wahoo zones. But Salute coming in on that top there, popping that Inkjet, they are popping that armor. They are going to try and drop and force this into neutral. It is neutral, but very quickly recapped in favor of Slay. Neutral again. That is a cap. Finally, Salute can take a moment to breathe, but only a moment because we are still 3v3. Chase getting the pick, but that Ray coming out, 2 down on the side of Salute. As they clear penalties, start taking it down.
They clear penalty, taking it down. The bubble's gonna just slowly expand, go down. And also, I'm gonna mention from this point out, as Half has their name as Big Man, they're automatically called Big Man fans for the rest of the set. You understand that one, Scout?
Yes, I do. Sleepy dropping in with that bomb, rolling that underneath the feet. Team Slay in a good position here in this 3v3, maintaining control of that zone, the Ray being out, but the Inkjet might be able to force some of them back here. Another pick on a member of Salute means that they are able to maintain this, but the 52 being down does mean that that wall is not there to be able to prevent them from breaking into the zone. All the bombs coming out on the zone, bringing it into neutral, but once again, another member down on Salute makes that 2. Team Slay probably going to be feeling pretty comfortable here on this recap.
They are going to, and that Sleepy, like someone might put Resident Sleeper in the chat for the junior gameplay. Ooh, but this push is coming on and coming strong for Salute. They have just absolutely throttled this zone all the way back. One thing I want to quickly mention is back on track. That junior gameplay from Sleepy to keep that zone. Staying safe and painting the zone as a junior. Half that zone was completely there. And all the team had to focus on was the other side of the zone. Easy.
Is Sleepy popping that armor now once again. Team Slay going to have to try and break it in, but the bubbles from the squeezer could find themselves in a very dangerous situation. There's one on that right side of Sleepy. They do have one down on the side of Salute, but no, that is Team Slay in control of the zone, but only one member of Salute left standing. A minute left in this game.
Minute left is enough time for Team Slay to end it before we even get the clock. But it also gives Team Salute enough time to get back into the zone. They don't have anything besides missiles that actually armor comes back really fast. What am I saying? But here we go, big fight coming up.
Yeah, the missile's going to be able to force the members of Team Slay to dance a little bit, but then it's just the Nozzle Nose Kalana on that side of the zone. Team Slay either bringing it to a KO or the end of the timer, but either way, they are taking game 1 of round 1 of Great White.
Yeah, round 1 is a good start. We don't have we don't have counter picks here because I'm mushing my brain together with all these things, and as much as it pains me sometimes. Seeing the Jet with that 7 rays and 15 kills, whew, it makes me think, like, you know what? Backline, we are still needed in this game. We haven't died yet, realizing that the Jet Sculpture is the only shooting backline weapon in the game.
Well, you know, maybe, you know, it's you just gonna have to play the funny jet weapon, you know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I loved the funny jet weapon when it wasn't broken.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of broken, I still think that C-Jet is going to do very, very well in the hands of Tenta moving forward to TC Inkblot. I think that whole comp, obviously it's quad shooter, you can play it anywhere, but I still think it's still going to do well here moving forward.
Jet Squelcher loses a lot of, for me, it loses a lot of value on Tower Control Ink. You have range, but there's too many little cubbies that people can work their way up to and really kill you before anything happens. And there's too many, the ledges aren't really strong enough for you on tower control here. And you just kind of get rushed. It's really easy to rush you down, or you have to sit way back behind your own spawn to do a safe ray. And if you sit way back there, you have nowhere to run for missiles because you can't re-enter your own spawn. And that's like, your own spawn is like a giant dome where you can't enter if you have ray popped anymore. So it makes it quite difficult. You might as well just play missiles, Jet.
Yeah, I would say that Ray can be pretty awkward on this map, couldn't it? Because, like, once it gets past second checkpoint, in order to be able to, like, effectively Ray, like, all of your plat and, like, that final check,
you're dead.
You gotta be on that top left area, you know? And that's just, it removes you so physically far from the rest of the plat that if things start to snowball elsewhere on plat, you can very quickly find yourself in a sticky situation.
Or the other thing is, if you fall down in the sneaky area down that left alley, you can fall down there and have a really flat ray. But if you fall down there and you get missiled, you have to go all the way to tree to stay alive, and then the tower is being all the way pushed up on your spawn. It's just a nightmare.
Yeah, a little bit of weapon changes around on Salute here. Players picking up each other's weapons so that way Chase can bring in that Nautilus. Team Slay quickly losing their junior, but trading out the 52 on the side of Salute. Salute looks like they're trying to start pushing here, but just that Not left standing as Team Slay brings out that missiles.
Yeah, this is going to be a good push. They have some missiles already. If Court can find that kill, that should be good on the kill, but they lose their jet. That is not something that you want to lose on the tower. As Big Man Fan is coming in to try and stay alive on that tower. 3 points left is all they need to get through the checkpoint. And that's a great speed bump penalty applied against Team Slay.
Yeah, I like how Half managed to stall that out long enough for the remaining members of Team Slay to be able to come back in and back up this checkpoint, because now this is looking pretty solid, and that is the check in favor of Team Slay. That Ray putting up a lot of pressure on that Bats, getting the pick on Chase here. As the remaining members try and push up, will they be able to break the checkpoint? They need to be able to clear Bats in order to do that.
Yeah, Bats, the Jet Shelter wants to help their team fight Bats, but they can't. Only thing they can do is Burst Bomb or Ray. That's exactly what they have to go at. Big Man Fan, Big Half Man, big everybody's fan. We're going off right there to try and get some kills, but not enough. They got 2, but they need more for the team to get.
Regardless, Team Slay cleared 2 checkpoints in the first minute of the game. So that is huge, and that's going to set them up dominantly for the remainder of this game, and Salute needs to be able to do the same.
Yes, and ooh, that great bubble shutdown is going to be able to keep Team Slay on this aggressive push, especially if they can get some more kills here. They have the specials at the ready and are approaching some really crucial ones to really get them in.
Yeah, the armor coming out from Salute as the members of Team Slay try and push up. They do lose half on that 52 in the process. Stalling that tower up on that left side, shifting that battle line away from mid. If you keep Salute here on the defense, great pick from Sleepy, then they can't push up in order to be able to get that paint down and work their way up. Currently very, very scrappy. I love how Team Slate is playing this. They are playing the slow game, and they are getting the picks that they need.
They are getting the slow picks that they definitely do need. And Sleepy with the resident sleeper bomb from downtown. And going in for more, going to get Chase. Can Sleepy find Chase? Somehow the Battle Junior is still alive. Can Sleepy go for the wipeout? The legendary Splatoon 2 wipeout. No.
Splatoon 2 wipeout. Sleepy on that tower, working their way up towards another armor while the remaining members of Team Slate cleared that plat. They do lose their K-Shot Corey. However, that tower is exactly where that second checkpoint was. Any points that they gain here from here are theirs, but Salute getting the picks that they need to push Team Slate back. We may finally be seeing a counter push from Salute here.
Yep. Hopefully, if they can get their way off of this 96. Not the weapon, but the point total. But that Ray, again, that Ray, just so oppressive. Shutting down Salute from everything they want to do. But now with popping his armor, this should be time for them to go in. Find it with that inkjet as well, coming from the Nautilus. They should be able to get a lot of space, good space here.
Yeah, and getting a pick on that Ray is huge. There it goes. It's just the 52 as they're on that checkpoint. 52 on that left side does get shut down. So this checkpoint is going to come free, but will they be able to clear the second? They are working their way up towards those specials. They have two members on bats. We do see a member of Team Slate coming around that right side, but everyone is where they need to be in order for Salute to clear this. Here comes that Booyah. Going to go straight onto that plat with that inkjet. That is a lead in favor of Salute as they go 2 down.
The Booyah Bomb going just a little bit wider than I think one on the side of Team Salute. If they had thrown it closer onto the wall, there was a clean opportunity for Team Slate to lose at least one member for sure and have 2 members heavily damaged. With the inkjet coming in, we would have been looking at a pushes in the teams for sure.
Yeah, but now Team Slate, all they need to do is really get on that plat and really be able to stick tower. They don't have to worry about that checkpoint, which Salute did just have to worry about. So getting picks for them could be huge. That Ray is just so oppressive, but more importantly, Chase helps get that pick on the Tower Rider. The Sea-Jet's going to have to jump out, but Half coming in and cleaning that up. Sorry, that was Go One. Oh man, here we go. 2 down on the side of Team Slate, but the bubbles do get hit. Sleepy able to push up onto plat. Does get that other one. We are in overtime. It's just Sleepy in the Sea-Jet, but that's it. Salute gets to the tower, maintaining their 1-point lead.
Absolutely insane play from the Squeezer on the side of Salute. Kalana really just carrying your team. Last member alive. Pops the bubbles. I know it's a solo hero play, but there's no checkpoints, and it's like a 2-point game differential. If that tower went any further, their teammates wouldn't even. The respawn is so long on Inkblot, that their teammates would have gone in there, and it would have been like scrap, complete 1-point scrap. So them coming in and going for that hero play, catching the members of Team Slate a little bit off guard with the bubble pop, because it's just so. What are you supposed to do? That's 1 free kill, 1 for 1, and luckily getting that double, that 2-kill trade is honestly what won them that map. That saved the game for them.
Yeah, those final moments were really hairy, and I think that you're right. Definitely a hero play from Kalani, and I want to see them on Squeezer because they were on L3 during Wahoo Zones. I don't know if that was a Wahoo Zone specific pick, but moving forward to that Squeezer for Tower Control Inkblot, and I like that in their hands. Definitely looks very, very comfortable. But speaking of capable hands, we have Gohan Minaj on that Sea-Jet on Rainmaker Snapper, and while we were discussing that Tower Control Inkblot can be a little bit iffy for Ray, this is a Ray map.
You never had, when Ray was bad, when you couldn't get in the squid form with that Stingray, when you had that little tiny beam laser, which did a lot more damage than it does now, by the way. When you had that little tiny beam laser, Stingray was actually usable. Like, people used Stingray when it was bad on this map because of how good it was here. So now that it's in the state that it currently is, I think I need to see both teams having Ray here. Because it's on Rainmaker here. I know it can be a fast-paced map mode, but it's just so darn impressive.
Hello switching to that Splash. That is the Splash Neo for that Bomb Rush. Also half switching to that Splash as well. Continuing to see that Seja in the hands of Gohan.
And we are going to be seeing both teams rocking that armor missile. Just solidified itself into why it's so strong. And that's really going to be, seeing those combos is really how both these teams can really get their pushes started. First pop on this map is one of the maps that, oh, big 4 missiles. That doesn't really matter. The initial pop, this one matters almost like the least in any map.
That's true. It's so much more important to take physical space than it is to rush for that Rainmaker pop here. Salute does manage to drop it, which is huge because it can be so cumbersome just to get onto top mid and get the fish. But Kalana coming in and getting a pick. I really love how Salute has control of that left side because they are going to have a much easier time pushing here. But as I say that, it is just the fish and the K-shot up. Prophet having the duck and dance in mid. It does go down to the Ray.
I always want to know what you're going to call it if we have like a fish weapon.
Like, don't do that to me.
Well, like we have chicken. We have Auto Bomb, which is called chicken. And you can blame Vix for that one. But yeah, we are going to see a nice push. That Bomb Rush being available from Team Slay is really good. Missiles coming up as well. And 2 members down from Salute. Ooh, this is difficult for Salute. Can they hold on to you?
Yeah, and they are going to be able to peek this corner, but that is a wipe as Gohan takes that Rainmaker straight to the pedestal in a clean K. Oh my goodness, that game was pretty short.
Yeah, the push was looking a little bit like, you know, it's not really going to go anywhere. Team Slay just, like, got 2 members of Team Salute. Flat out, splatted them out of the middle of nowhere. Corey didn't have the time to get a kill. Talk about... I haven't seen that in years. The winning team, you get 2 specials and 0 kills and you win.
Hey man, being a team player, Corey said, like, sure, I'll paint. I got you, homie.
The funny thing is that like even if you paint, there's such thing like oftentimes like you can see juniors that get like assists or something with their armor, or like K shots with missiles get assists, or like backline gets something crazy, or like Corey wasn't the Rainmaker carrier.
Actually, I think it was Gohan was the Rainmaker carrier.
Yeah, Gohan was the Rainmaker carrier. Normally, it's like if you get 0 kills on Rainmaker quickly like that, it's usually the Rainmaker carry that has 0 kills because you were the one that pushes and didn't get a kill with the Rainmaker. But
those missiles were instrumental in terms of pushing the remaining members of Salute back once they got those 2 down, and
but they're all dead.
I know, but then they had to finish them off, you know?
Oh,
like,
true.
I mean, we're talking about like 2 missiles in like a minute and a half, like. They were painting.
Let's be fair. Those 2 missiles, we had the 1 quad missile, and then the last missile, which were a double missile on the last 2 members that were alive.
That's some quality Splatoon.
So that was 6 out of 6 missiles. So you got to get the free pass for the 0 kills on the win. Because you got 6 out of 6 missiles. But you know, man. Legendary moments there. Almost as legendary as that stamp play from earlier. Oh my god. You got to check back the VODs for that one, team.
If you are alive, Corey will missile you.
Yo, true.
So just don't step out of spawn. It's that simple.
You can still be missiled in spawn.
Well, listen.
Don't tell a Turf War player. They'll tell you're spawn camping them.
Oh my god.
Much love. Much love.
Listen. Clam Blitz Mako.
Let's go shopping. What are we buying, Scap?
I'm buying some calamari. I'm also buying a quad shooter comp plus an Explo. My goodness.
Excuse me, Explo, but I haven't seen you in a hot minute.
Good sir, where have you been?
What, okay, I haven't seen Explo in a hot minute on SOS. I saw it quite a few times on other things, on other networks. Oh. I shouldn't mention, but you know, here, now, yeah.
They do get the pick on the Expo. That is Team Slay underneath basket, but Sleepy only has 3 claims, so a lot of smoke going on here, but not a lot of dunking. That armor does come out. That's going to benefit them pretty well, but will they be able to get the pick on this squeezer? Just a lot of nothing happening.
Smoking and dunking. What are you doing on a?
Oh, gee!
I thought we were commentating.
my goodness, the inkjet coming out from Salute as Sleepy is forced all the way back into useless. Rather, two of them are. That's going to be two very clean picks for Salute. They do get the power clam. This is going to be a basket break here, Genie.
Don't commentator curse them yet, because they haven't dunked them yet. Okay, now they got one. Phew, good. You almost got canceled there, Scap. Gee whiz.
Some things are certain there, Genie. Alright, Salute has 13 clams. They're probably going to be able to stall this out here, but they don't look like they're going to be able to have any specials for the remainder of this push. 39 remaining is something to feel comfortable with, and they're continuing to dunk. This is huge. It's just half.
Excuse me, half. The half is in your spawn, everybody. Half just put 15 clams in.
Oh, man. That push is over. Team Slay gotta have to find their pace here.
Some things are inevitable. Death, taxes, Judd telling us the winner of the game, and apparently half just throwing clams in your basket when no one's looking.
Yeah, but Team Slay has 14 power clams, and half is over here on this left side. Corey and Sleepy getting the picks there. Going to be able to have an opportunity to dunk, but will they be able to snowball this like Salute did to them just a moment ago?
It's gonna be interesting. Knowledge gone, ends up gone, good kill. They lost their junior, and they don't have any more clams, but luckily the clam spawns are good, but not good enough.
Wait, but no, Gohan's going up on that top left side. Continue to dunk. They have a pity clam. Will they be able to grab it and jump it in here? Half is going to go down. This may be a basket close for Salute, but last time I said that, little half ended up proving us wrong.
Yes. And this is definitely an interesting position for Sleepy to be in. Luckily, getting out of that glass position, both teams are just going madness. I'm pretty sure that was just ends up going down to a splash wall bomb, but both teams here are just fighting tooth and nail for every inch.
Yeah, but Salute going to go 3 down, forced to fall back as Team Slay pushes their way up to that basket with 25 clams. 2 of them being power clams, very quickly going to be able to clear penalty here and pull lead. This is a KO! Team Slay knocking out round 1 of Great White.
Knocking out in a 3-1 fashion. The Team Slay is going to be able to keep slaying on the tournament. Well, they salute their way out.
And that's Clams Mako for you. Honestly, people talk about Clamblitz Piranha being volatile, but Clamblitz Mako is just like that in the fact that you get 2 down and you're under basket, and it's just so quick to get from point A to point B. So Team Slay, laying and yassing, trying to go for that first place title in what is possibly the last SOS of Splatoon 2.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at the calendar. I always look at the calendar. There isn't one on the 30th, so I don't know what to say. Like,
no, there's never one the last Wednesday of the month.
That's right. Never. So this is the last one of the month.
We don't. Stay tuned in the IPL Discord server.
Bro.
Watch SOS announcements, and we will tell you what is happening. But regardless, this is the end for me and Genie. We are both retiring.
I've been up since 6:30. I don't know about you.
Genie's going to bed and I'm going to shine. So without further ado, Genie, where can the good people find you?
They can find me at Genie7_ on Twitter and at Genie7 as seen on screen, minus the underscore on Twitch and YouTube. I will be live Friday on Twitch for some Splatoon 2 gameplay right before we go live for the Splatfest, which I will be live for that 6 a.m. in the morning.
My God.
Because, yeah. And then don't forget to watch Shine this weekend.
Speaking of Shine, hi, my name is Skeptilians. You can find me at Shine in Worcester, Massachusetts in, oh my gosh, 11 hours, 53 minutes? You can find me there. I will be there. Also, I will be commentating pools, like wave 2, and then top 8 on day 2. So, please tune in. IPL here. You don't have to go anywhere. You could literally just keep Twitch open. Follow us, IPL. We're pretty cool.
We have to reopen Twitch because when we go offline, then you have to reload Twitch when we go live again.
Point is, be here or be square. You can also find me on Twitter and Twitch at Skeptilians as seen on screen. I do think I'm pretty funny. So that got
I
that
can
going for
confirm.
me.
Can confirm that Skep can be funny. Also can
Sometimes.
confirm that Skep can be Skep. Which, if you know what being Skep is, then you know.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
putting me on blast on SOS at end of stream.
Sink or swim, maybe like more like save our Skep. Ooh.
Oh
gosh.
my god,
Got
I've
him.
made that joke before. Alright, anyway. Jeannie, do you have anything else you want to say for the night?
I really just kind of want to tell people to, if you want to, like, enjoy a land. I'm gonna go on this little tangent.
No, we don't have time, Jeannie.
I know. Come watch the land. You want to enjoy the land? Watch the land.
Okay, we
Have
have time.
fun. Watch
have
the
time.
land. Follow. Watch the land.
Watch the land. Lands
Watch
are
the
cool.
land.
Watch the land.
Watch the land.
Watch the land.
Watch the land. Devin, you can cut us off because we're gonna keep
Katie.
saying watch the land. Watch.
Stay fresh!
Hi everybody, welcome back to SOS 80. This is round 2 of Top Cut, and we have Fardos versus gas prices here. And I am joined by...
Hi, I'm Alias. It's been a hot minute since I've commentated Splatoon, and I'm glad to be here for Silver Sync 80.
Yeah, one of the last Splatoon 2 tournaments. Always an adventure right now.
Yeah, no, definitely. I am so excited for the test fire.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't one of the people that did the New Zealand account thing. Who, for sure.
Oh, trust me, if I did not live in a house with 6 other people, I would probably try and find a router with a VPN and just try and get on as early as possible.
You don't even need a VPN to do it, but that.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yep. But yeah, Gas Prices has been playing in a lot of tournaments lately. They've been a pretty common team to see in the scene.
Yeah, I've definitely been seeing them around a lot recently. Let me see if I can go find some of their past results while we're...
I believe they've won a
start.
couple SOSs recently, actually. So this should be an interesting set.
Yeah.
And Fardos might have a Charger with Bandit on the team.
Ooh.
Always a treat.
Yeah. No, yeah, I love Charger. I wish I was better at Charger.
It does take a lot of practice.
They got second at Summer Sync 78.
Ah, that would be what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And we are seeing fairly standard comps that we'd expect right now. I will say the Nautilus 47 over the 89 isn't not 89. That's the Zap. That's fine. The silver Zap over the silver Nautilus over the gold Nautilus is always interesting to see. There we go.
Yeah, especially on a map like Starfish main stage, where having that ink check gives you a lot of opportunity to actually like get up and over the enemy perch right in front of the first 2 checkpoints. So I'm kind of surprised that we're seeing the baller version. But either way, it seems like it's not particularly mattering for them, as they have a fairly decent lead going into that opening skirmish.
Yes, and it seems like missiles are coming out, armor coming out on the side of Fardos, as they're just trying to get in here, starting to try and get this push going, but missiles coming out also from Gas Prices, trying to keep the spaces clear and open, as they're just trying to... Neither team has managed to really get through this first checkpoint at all, not even touching it. And it's just kind of a stalemate in mid for now.
Yeah. Currently, Gas Prices does manage to maintain that little bit of a lead that they had, but it seems like Fardos are going to be able to push it over the edge. A jump out from the side of Gas Prices means that this checkpoint should go down fairly easily, and the special's coming online for Fardos at just the right time.
And Inkjet here can apply a lot of pressure to this top left area, which is so they have it at a very good time here, though they don't have an armor to protect them if they were to choose to pop it now.
Yeah, I think the armor was just popped as they were on their way to that second checkpoint. But either way, it will still fall. Armor comes in for the side of Gas Prices, and they will be able to get most everyone down. I'm not sure if the jet went down a little bit earlier, but either way, Gas Prices do manage to retake the tower and mid control. And they have specials prepared for this upcoming push, but sizable deficit now.
Absolutely. It does look like Fardos will have specials online for this push also, to prevent this push also, as Booyah comes out there from Luke, really applying a lot of pressure to that top left area, forcing people to have to back off some. As Luke is just trying to hold their snipe, forced to back off for a second as they move to left. And we are seeing the Nautilus pushing into mid, forcing people to scatter some, and one has gone down on the side of Gas Prices, but the Knot has gone down for Fardos.
Yeah, I really like the Slosher taking the initiative to push up a little bit further than the rest of their team on that push. But again, it seems like that Grey Knot is actually coming into play right now. Gas Prices with the tower and a very good positional advantage right now. But a couple picks far to the side of Fardos should be enough to help stall this push out. It's just a matter of whether or not the checkpoint will fall, and it doesn't. That forced to jump out in the end.
Yes. And so we're just going to see Fardos reclaiming mid here, trying to get their specials online to just, really try and hammer through to that last checkpoint and hopefully get through it. If not, just pushing the tower forward so that if you're pushing the objective, the other team can't be. Always an advantage to be pushing.
And just a very heads-up play by December right there, adjusting their camera to watch for the flank. Fortunately, they do go down, and that's actually 3 players down on the side of Fardos, so Gas Prices are presented with yet another opportunity to push in. But Luke going down on that K-Gal means that a lot of that paint pressure that they have is still going to be lost.
Yeah, gas prices does have a decently paint-heavy comp even if the K-Gal were to go down, but yeah, losing the K-Gal definitely does cut their paint by a decent bit. That was an interesting not 1v1 there with the Silver Knot there coming out on top, managing to get a great pick there. You can see, though, that like if they were on Gold Knot, that would have been a great spot to Inkjet from, because you can just apply so much pressure to that top area without having to take a ton of risks yourself, because you don't really have to extend into them. And the Baller does miss the jump on this night, which is unfortunate to see.
Like it got back up there in the end as Gas Prices is still looking to push forward. Not just applying so much pressure on the left right there, though. It's very, very hard for Gas Prices to get in, and just like that 3 go down, Fardos do continue to hold the line.
The 52 Gal is still behind them, though, and a 52 Gal can do a decent bit of damage on their own, and of course, as I say that, they go down.
I think they might have gotten the slot.
Oh, good. Inkjet at the ready here with it from this Nautilus, as they're just painting up mid, regaining map control, and just making sure that they know where everybody is. If the map's painted, it's way easier to know.
Yeah, December's done a really good job so far this game at just knowing where everybody is. They've been really alert on these flanks that are coming out from Gas Prices, especially in the middle of this game. And right now, just because of the positional advantage that they have, it's going to be really hard for Gas Prices to push in. And even when they do, they are going to have to push into specials. Inkjet's still at the ready. Missiles did get popped a little bit ago, but it doesn't seem to matter. Fardo's just pushing it forward, holding the line, finding these last few picks. Thankyu's the only one close enough to the tower at this point to even get on it, and it won't matter. Fardos actually do give up the tower for just a split second, but they will take this game one.
Is a treat. Yeah, that was a very... Fardos, once they managed to get that push, they played really smartly and just made sure to maintain that map presence, and they did a great job of not overextending into Gas Prices when they didn't need to.
Yeah, December coming out on top of the leaderboard. Love the theme that they have going with the months. My favorite month is certainly Freedom.
Definitely a month for sure.
Honestly, the month of September might as well just be renamed to Freedom at this point.
It really might as well be. We'll be free from armor.
Exactly. Not missiles.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe from not though. The kit does seem to be a little bit worse, but definitely still playable.
Yeah, all of the kits look pretty solid so far.
I
will say I will be excited to at least not see Black Belly Rainmaker for a little bit
True.
in Splat 3. A little
Absolutely
break.
true.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It might very well come back, but there'll be a little time where it's not a map we have to think about.
Oh god. What's the number one map that you wouldn't like to see them bring back?
Just leave Moray in the past. Leave
Thank
Moray.
you.
Leave
Thank
Moray
you.
behind. It's time. Nobody wants Moray. Casuals don't like Moray. Comp players don't like Moray.
Smash players don't like it either. I have no idea why out of all the stages they could have chosen, they went with Moray Towers.
It won a popularity contest at the end of Splat 1.
Oh. Sure.
And then here
Anyway.
we are going. Yeah, here we are going into Black Belly
Double
Rainmaker. Yeah, double gal's always interesting. Interesting to see Ray. Not interesting. It's expected to see CJ coming out of both sides here. The double gal is definitely interesting though. The baller and point sensor vanilla 52 is not something that we see super often.
Yeah, already Stingray's coming out in full force, just swimming around trying their best to survive, and they will pick up the Rainmaker. Jujo down on the side of Fardos. We could be looking at a relatively quick push here as more and more pressure is applied, and it looks like... Yeah, December does manage to hold the line right there at the end. 29 points on the board for Gas Prices, though. Still pressure being applied. Luke ends up going down to December, and it looks like the push is finally able to be over. December continues to push their team forward. 29 points on the board, though, for Gas Prices.
A strong opening, and on any other map I'd be like, yeah, they could probably just defend for the rest of the game. But it's Black Belly Rainmaker, where it can flip in 2 seconds if it wants to.
We could have exactly the same thing that we saw at the start of the game happen again.
Exactly. It's a bit of a finicky and temperamental map.
God, I'm
Rainmaker
so ready
in
for the
general
Rainmaker
is
checkpoints.
like that. Exactly. Rainmaker in general is a mode that definitely can have those issues. But like you said, checkpoints in the next game. Ray coming out here again from Thank You. That's the second of the game. Not a shock to see coming out, but always impressive how fast CJ can get those Rays out.
And another Ray coming in right as I brought it up from September on the side of Fardos, trying to help clear mid for their team. April goes ahead and picks up the Rainmaker. Won't have armor for the push, but missiles do come in as thank you ends up going down to the Rainmaker. Sorry, it was my pleasure who actually got the pick.
Yeah, 52 Gal applying a lot of pressure from this corner area here that's very hard to get people out of. Just even with a slosher, it's just such a hard angle to find and to hit because of all those walls in the way. It's a spot there at the end of a game of Black Belly Rainmaker. If you just need to stall it and put it somewhere safe, that's where you put it.
Yep. Not quite installing territory yet, though, with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock, just about. Gas prices could try and take a push up, but they would be running into the Stingray. Counter Stingray is available now from Gas prices, and they'll actually go ahead and pop it first. That might have been what they were waiting on for the push. In response, the Inkjet does get popped, and I don't even know how to call that. It does go down to Freedom in the end.
52 Gal managing to find a nice pick there as everybody's just kind of skirmishing in mid right now, which is working great for, that's great for gas prices. That's what they want. Not necessarily what Fardos is after right now. They want to find a good opening to push.
And Luke just continuing to cause chaos in these back lines. My pleasure going to go up and join them. Let's face a little bit of pressure from that Slosher. Booyah Bomb and Stingray going to come out at the same time for gas prices. And if not for a quick flank by December, that would have been a very dangerous push. But as it stands, there's still a lot of pushing left to do. My pleasure and Luke continuing to harass players on the front lines. Fardos just getting driven further and further back. Rainmaker trying to figure out a way to get up this wall. And eventually the Stingray comes out for the side of Fardos. That will take out the Rainmaker and one other player as well. So now Fardos, minute and a half left on the clock. Let's see what they've got.
I've got Solar Missile there, forcing them to really have to back off, although it's not too hard for a Zap to survive missiles generally. They do have that armor at the ready, which will enable the 52 Gals to really try and make a push in, as we see My Pleasure doing right now. Yeah. Managing to get a triple here, it looks like.
Yeah. And the knot goes down as well. Not only that, there are no specials left on the board. My Pleasure pushes up ahead, doesn't quite get the pick on September before they can shut down the Rainmaker, but specials coming out in full force. My Pleasure just trying to survive on these front lines, has the baller at the ready, might have to pop to get themselves out of this position. As December tries to find a way to stall, the Slosher goes down around them. As the baller gets popped in the end, Inkjet pops, armor shredded, but at the very least, more pressure being applied to gas prices, and Fardos will drive them back. Rainmaker does get reset, but Fardos needs to find a way to get control of mid in these last 35 seconds.
Absolutely. At this point, gas prices can really just play it safe. They can get their Booyah online, they can try, when their jet respawns, they'll be able to get Ray online pretty quickly. And they can really just kind of stall it out. They have a strong enough push that as long as they're careful and don't make any rush-based choices, they should be able to just hold this.
Armor and Booyah Bomb both coming out for gas prices to go down to the Booyah Bomb. Freedom and April go down, and with it, the hopes of Fardos taking this game do as well. December gets one final trade for kicks, but gas prices force us to an even set going into Game 3.
Absolutely. It definitely is just... That's definitely what we expect. Neither of their comps are all that shocking to see on Black Belly Rainmaker, aside from the Vanilla 52, which is a weapon that is not... And the Slosher, I guess. I'll give them some credit for the Slosher.
I mean, you gotta get your missiles in somehow. You can't have the jet be the missile bot. You might as well bring in a Slosher. Why not?
You might as well. More interesting than a K-shot, for sure.
Yeah. I do find it odd that both teams opted to switch away from a K-shot on Black Belly, but ultimately not too surprising.
Yeah, I think that I think shots are a little less beneficial there than probably on Starfish. I will also say that I'm a little, I understand why people go C-Jet on Starfish, on Black Belly Rainmaker. It's strong there. I will say that I think people underestimate how strong Mist can be on a map like Black Belly, where just slowing them down can make such a difference.
Agreed. I am a huge Mist optimist.
I am a Mist fan. Yeah.
There was one time earlier where I was wanting to talk about the knots at some point, and I wanted to use not something, and then as soon as I realized that, I was like, curses, I can't make a pun out of that, so I'm just gonna not say it. And now I'm bringing it back up at a completely unrelated time.
Not say it?
Anyways, Greynot's back.
two Gray Zaps coming out here from gas prices, really just focusing on that armor scam, saying goodbye to missiles, which is always a surprise to see, especially in a mode like Clan Blitz where it can force people to scatter so much, and on a map like this where there's not a ton of cover for people to take from them.
And so it looks like their main way of getting in is probably going to be using these double armors and forcing their Not and their K-Gal up, and they certainly have. Gas prices driving them back. Booyah Bomb still at the ready for Luke, can use it to help extend this push. And he
seems to be using it for survival there.
Yeah. Probably less than ideal, but at the same time, it does seem to have done the desired effect. 44 points left on the board for gas prices. The basket's still open. Meh does go down in a trade, and now only 2 players left on the board for gas prices. The push will end, but they still have so much map control.
They do. We see the Slosher here trying to apply some pressure to this side of the map, but being called back by their Zap player to try and just help clear off Bridge. Bridge is such an important focal feature of this map, and it's so important to make sure that you hold it and maintain it. First Bomb Rush at the ready here from the Slosher, which can apply a ton of pressure, but not if you just get... The Gal doesn't need to worry about RNG if you're in their base.
Exactly. I'm so used to stuff like that from Valorant, where it's just like, it's some weapons are just designed for you to just run and hit people in the face. That's just how they work. Speaking of running and hitting people in the face, the baller. Oh, there is a DC.
I believe that they might have passed the threshold. No, I seem to be wrong. They have not. It does seem like there will be a replay here, just from how the players are acting.
Yep. So as we go ahead and finish up this game 0, is there anything else? Like, I know the 2 Gray Zaps is definitely a choice, but how do you get around that running a comp like the comp coming out from Fardos?
I mean, genuinely, having that Soda Slosher can actually help a lot with that, because that Burst Bomb Rush can just chip off armor so easily. Burst Bomb Rush can apply so much pressure so easily in situations where they're armored, because Burst Bombs will just shred off your armor, and then the Nautilus can just come in and clean up after it.
Yeah, very fair. Definitely a comp that does help to enable the Not, but at the same time, that does seem like it's highly contingent on having the Burst Bomb Rush to help shred the armors.
And they don't have a ton of other bombs from what I'm remembering. I mean, they had the Zap, they had a V-Jet, I believe, right?
I think you're right. They do have the Gold Knot, though, if I remember correctly. No.
Yes,
yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah, they do. They're the Gold Knot side.
Yeah. So they
Which
will
helps
have
them. But the Nautilus isn't going to use their sub-weapon all that often, just because it's so, like, it's not a it's a pretty incongruous weapon to begin with.
No, definitely. But they do have the lethals available to help get them out of these breakout situations.
Absolutely. Lethals are just so important in the way the game is currently played. And Splatoon is more structured around lethals than from what I've seen from a lot of other shooters.
Yep. So we will be getting right back into Clan Blitz on the Reef, replaying the last game, which was affected by a DC. Same comps coming out from both teams as per the rules. I believe we're going to be seeing another aggressive opening coming out from gas prices.
Most likely. Their comp definitely favors aggression with that 52 gal and 2 armors to help out. And Zap in and of itself can fight so well on its own, and it's so much, like, in comparison to the other armor weapon that's seen really commonly right now, Junior, it's, I will argue that Junior wants to be further forward than Zap a lot of the time, but it cannot fight on its own as well.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. But speaking of fighting on its own, gas prices have taken a whole bunch of individual fights, and they've given up control not only of Bridge, but also of Basket Fardos. And just like that, a power clam is formed, clams being passed around, specials at the ready. The ink armor doesn't quite come through in time for the Nautilus to get their inkjet up. And it seems like, despite all odds, Fardos has only been able to score these 68 points. It certainly looked like they were going to be set up a little bit better than they actually were.
Absolutely. Especially early Clan Blitz pushes, sometimes if you have a push that goes a little too quick, you kind of are shooting yourself in the foot, because you just don't have time to get people in the positions where you need them to get.
Yeah. As it stands right now, Fardos does seem to be playing a little bit further back. Meg going to be caught out by that Nautilus, but get away with their life. does look like a power claim on the other side has been formed. That might have actually been the pity that was picked up.
It does seem like it was the pity, and we do see the V-Jet having that power claim now that their team has made. They're trying to push in here using armor, booyah, missiles, baller. Actually, no missiles, but baller. And they're just throwing everything at the wall to try and get some clams in here. And they're probably, they're able to get lead pretty easily, but it's a 2v2 situation now, and Zapper still up, which is always not really what a V-Jet wants to see, because the Knot can still apply a good bit of pressure to them, and the Zap can just try and bomb them out.
My Pleasure found a huge pick on December right there to help keep positional advantage, and a couple more clams are actually going to be thrown in, but not enough to keep the basket open for much longer. 41 points left on the board for Gas Prices at this point, and they have retaken the lead in this all-important Game 3. Thank you. Going to be driven back from the bridge by these missiles, but does manage to find one on Freedom. December trades them right back, but ultimately My Pleasure wins that duel and establishes a player advantage for the side of Gas Prices, continuing to just put so much pressure with an up-tempo offense on Fardos.
Yeah, the Nautil is just such a strong weapon in terms of how its movement works in comparison, well, especially to other Slatwings, but even compared to a lot of other weapons, just because it has the closest thing to hit scan in Splatoon.
Yep. I bet I need to start playing Knot and Chargers more. I miss hit scan.
It's not quite hit scan, but it's definitely the closest you get.
I mean, hey, just placebo effect. Just tell me it's hit scan and I'll be fine.
And there are two down on the side of Fardos again here. Gas Price is it's a 3v3 situation now here. Gas Price is very close to having another power at the ready. They're probably just going to try and keep this pressure up, not allowing Fardos out of their base, as Fardos is trying to reclaim this bridge area. Zap forced to pop an armor to survive, but the Knot does go down anyway.
Yeah. I believe the Ink Armor came through from Fardos to help stall that push out. Another Ink Armor being popped by Gas Prices, but they're being driven further and further back. December, September, and April all have control of bridge right here. Freedom lagging a little bit behind as they're going on a little bit of a flank. They do manage to find one, and both the Zaps go down. Just the Knot and the K-Gal left alive at the moment, and Luke is a bit... I'm sorry, not Luke. My Pleasure was a bit out of position. Luke couldn't help. Has the Booyah to help stall this push out a little bit. Thank you and Mev both respawn to put in a little bit more help. But ultimately, this is looking like a very good chance for Fardos to actually score. And Luke goes down.
Luke going down there. Slosher are trying to get in here along with that Zap, using each other's damage to try and make something happen, but not really able to find a path in. They're really trying to play this smart and safe. They know that they know that they're running low on time. They're popping their specials at smart time. And the Gal does go down, which is a huge, huge opening against this comp.
Yeah. 3v2 situation. September going to be able to force the basket open. And that's the lead for Fardos. With only 30 seconds left, this is a really dangerous position for Gas Prices to be in. September with this V-Jet pushed up a little bit further than I'm sure they'd want to, and they do go down in the end. But a jump's coming in. It's going to be just a bit late. One more clam, and that could have been game realistically. But now, Gas Prices on the offensive. One of the Zaps goes down in exchange for getting this basket open. I think it might have been a little bit earlier than they would have wanted to. None of the other players from Gas Prices are in position to stop it. There is still a power claim on the board, so they will still have one opportunity to get in. Met trying to find clams in order to build up a power claim of their own.
They might be trying to do a power jump through card here, which is not something that we see very often anymore, but used to be very common. It does seem that seems to be what they're going for.
It will be in time. And they will take the lead off of it. Both jumps do manage to go in. The Baller does succeed in their objective, and Gas Prices steal Game 3 away.
Reminiscing a bit on the days of older Splatoon and thinking back to a very different meta where Kensa dualies were a thing. I remember that happening quite a bit, which is... I remember personally doing that quite a bit.
Man, I miss Kensa dualies. I miss dualies in general.
Next game, hopefully.
Yeah.
So many new movement options to help him out.
I'm curious to see if that helps or hurts the dualies, though.
If you can, it's really going to depend on how it interacts with rolls, which we haven't been able to see at all yet.
Oh, wow. Imagine if there was something like the jump tech for dually sculptures, but out of a roll into like a squid roll or a
Oh
squid
no. Yeah, that would
There,
be... It's very possible. It's a
very
frightening
possible.
concept.
there would be a little bit of a cooldown on the squid roll from what I've seen, just based off of how
Yeah,
some
there's
abilities work.
a bit of a cooldown.
But that's still terrifying.
Yes.
I want to exploit it.
I'm
I've
very
already
curious.
gotten like really good kits for all my weapons so far. Just let me at it. I'm
Next up
so
we've got-
excited for Machine.
Absolutely. Machine's kit looks bananas.
I saw that and I like my jaw dropped for a second. Cause
I
like
personally am very, very excited about Tri-Stringer's kit. I love Mist. I like the idea of Killer Whale the way it's structured in 3. I'm not going to like it as much as I like a Terra... Yeah. Next up, we've got Zone's Piranha Pit, actually, which, like, I'm interested to see if they choose to bring out V-Jets or C-Jets here, because both can be really, really strong on this map.
or, and hear me out, Bamboo.
Oh! I would love to see a Bamboo. I think Bamboo is very underrated in our current meta. I think it deals better with shooters than anyone likes to give it credit for.
No, I can kind of see where you're coming from on that. But I feel like Piranha Pit is the quintessential Bamboo map. Like
It definitely does fit the weapon well.
especially, and this is coming from someone who plays or played with a charger on Piranha Pit a lot in the past. Especially if your backline is very upset for having to go V-Jet and C-Jet, just stick them on Bamboo. You're not losing that much there.
They'll have more fun. Let your
They will
charger
have
player
more-
have some fun.
You'll all have more fun because when your
Exactly.
backline's happy, everyone's happy.
It's always fun to hear when teams still have actual backlines.
C-Jet.
And we are seeing a C-Jet and a V-Jet, one from each side.
Yeah. Looks like gas prices are going to be opting for the C-Jet, still bringing in the gray Nautilus. So they,
The gold Nautilus has gone down already on the side of Fardos. Ray coming out already from gas prices, just applying a ton of pressure in this opening. Missiles coming out from Fardos to try and keep the same pressure up. Both of those jets doing their job, getting their specials.
yeah. I'm very curious to see how this Soda Slosher pick is going to work on the side of Fardos. They do have the Burst Bomb Rush available, and between the Tenta Missiles and the Burst Bomb Launcher, they will start to coalesce on this zone, but only one goes down on the side of gas prices, and the zone won't quite be captured all the way by Fardos. So it looks like this is just going to continue to be skirmishy in mid. Stingray being used, but the Nautilus goes down as well. Very risky situation from gas prices at the moment, but it looks like they are still able to maintain their advantage, and they actually do maintain a player advantage. 2 going down, Freedom being pushed all the way over to Tires, having to jump out. This is a very good position for gas prices now.
It is, but we are seeing specials start to come online from Fardos, and as one goes down, that should be the pick they need. Armor getting popped right as one goes down is always something you really, really want to see out of an armor.
And Freedom does manage to find one towards their ramps. So now Fardos will be able to get control of the zone for a little bit, but this side of the zone close to gas prices just does not want to stay purple. And the knot goes down mid Inkjet. Freedom trying to deal with My Pleasure and will in the end. So both knots do go down, but as that happened, the V-Jet went down as well.
Freedom doing a great job here of taking full advantage of the fact that that Slosher is better on ledges than any of the other weapons that are out right now.
Very true, and with that positional advantage, Fardos will be able to take control of zone. Now, will they be able to hold on to it? Missiles almost at the ready. It seems like a lot of the other specials are close, but the Nautilus goes down. The Inkjet no longer an option, and Armor coming in for gas prices. They're going to be driven forward, and Fardos will be wiped in the end. Gas prices take control of the zone, maintain their lead, and have 3 specials ready for the site hold.
And the knot goes in just a little bit too early and gets punished very heavily for it. Ray coming out here now from Thank You, applying a lot of pressure, is forcing somebody to jump back. I don't quite know who. And the V-Jet just trying to get that top area again, but not quite able to hold it as they're getting pushed out so much by the C-Jet.
Ink Armor missiles coming in, but the Booyah Bomb in response. Ink Armor as well from gas prices. They will be able to hold this zone in the end. All his specials burned. Only the Inkjet left available for either team. but more specials come online. Soda Slasher does get their Burst Bomb Rush, and they will push gas prices back a little bit. Stingray driven all the way back towards Belt, and now the zone split 1-for-1 with a fight going out, breaking out on gas prices zone that eventually goes Fardos' way.
And that is 2 down on the side of gas prices, allowing Fardos to probably have a very solid hold here as they're forcing both of the last players to jump out. That might as well have been a wipe. VJet does have those missiles at the ready, though.
Stingray and Ink Armor coming out. They are going to try and take advantage of this, but My Pleasure dropped a little bit further than I think they wanted to, and didn't really realize that there were 2 players there waiting for them to drop. And in the meantime, the zap also goes down. Fardos, after a brief moment of respite for gas prices, takes back control of the zone. There are no penalty points on the board for them, and they will be able to run this down quite a ways. Zone falling under control of gas prices for a moment, as 2 go down on the side of Fardos. And I don't know if they'll be able to get the lead off this, and in fact they won't. Gas prices manages to take control 8 points away from losing their lead.
We are seeing those armors online, Ray coming out, applying a ton of pressure, but there's still a minute left, and that means that the game is still really anybody's, especially in a game that's been as back and forth as this one.
Yep, Luke gonna pop that Booyah Bomb, driving more and more players into this Belt's position. Gas Prices takes a lot of control of the map in general, and they are able to weather the storm of specials being thrown out by Fardos. Luke going huge and finding one, driving the other one back into Belts yet again. And Fardos just can't seem to find a way to get in.
Zap trying to fight this K-Gal here, but that's a rough fight for Zap to try and take. Doesn't seem like they were able to find a pick, and does go down anyway. Luke forced off of this zone, forced into a Nautilus, but there they have a wall. That's 52 gals. That's K52's whole thing.
Yep.
Does go down to the Jet, but there's not going to be time to paint the zones, and that is game to gas prices.
That will be the set. Gas prices will be moving on into the next round of Swim or Sink 80.
Definitely interesting to see teams opting to use, that is 10 missiles out of that VJet. Good for them.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe a little bit too few.
That might be a little bit low. I have seen 17 come out from a Neo Sploosh before. But definitely interesting to see the VJet and CJet. Definitely interesting to see the VJet and CJet coming out there and how they play off of each other in those situations, because with Jet's Vultures, they're going to paint over each other so much to get their specials. They're kind of just farming each other for their specials a lot of the time, which is an interesting situation.
So before we get into grand finals, I believe we do have a brief trailer to show you all. So go ahead, don't go anywhere. We've got a quick trailer and then grand finals up next.
Take a well-deserved break from the action. Chill out and dive in as we prepare to wrap up this current chapter and prepare to begin once again. Take one last moment to refresh your body, mind, tactics, and moves. Many others will enter this paradise, all with many things to prove. Will the one to win the last Splatoon 2 Major or the first Splatoon 3 Major be you? Come find out. Join us on launch weekend for Riptide 2022. Starting September 9th. Rated D10 for ages 10 and up.
And I am so excited to see Riptide. I'm very excited to see what is essentially the last Splatoon 2 Major at the same time as the first Splatoon 3 Major.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm going to be there, and I'm very excited to see the energy around especially after Low Tide, where they're, I don't know, it was just a very great experience, and everyone was bonding, and, people actually hung out with people that they weren't playing with, which was not my experience at the first Riptide. So hopefully we bring that back at this one like we did at Low Tide, and I'm just so excited. Water Park lands are such an experience because they're way more, for most players, if you're not like a top team trying to win the entire thing, you're going more for fun than anything else. And they are just that, a lot of fun.
Yeah. I had a great time at Riptide. I got to meet so many cool people. I think that's actually where I met you.
Yes, you subbed for my team because
Yep,
our
I forgot.
forwards dropped on us. And you
Yep.
had never really played comp before. My bad for dragging you into all of this.
I honestly blame K-Bot. He was just like, I'm just minding my own business, talking to Cater, and he's like, "Hey, Alias, are you playing Splatoon?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Do you want to play Splatoon?" And I'm like, "Sure." And then I had to borrow his controller because mine was getting new buttons.
It was an adventure of a day for sure.
It was a very, very fun day for me.
I'm glad it was a lot of fun for me and Seacant too.
And alrighty, speaking of fun, we are going to get into the grand finals. Getting here, I'm sure, has been fun for both Team Slay and Gas Prices, but the most fun will be had by the winners, and not by our lobby. We're going to be stalling for just a little bit longer as we get everyone set up, making sure that we're getting everything together. So yeah, obviously we saw Gas Prices on stream this last match. Nox, do you know anything about Team Slay?
I was watching a bit earlier and I remember that they did have a junior because my brain sees a junior and goes, "Oh, a junior." And that's all I process sometimes. Sometimes I see a junior and I simply go, "Oh, cool, I play that."
I'm like that, except the exact opposite with every short-range weapon but juniors. Like I have gone for entire sets without ever realizing that the enemy team had an arrow spray. Like
Arrow
despite
sprays
like just
aren't
constantly
real.
being barraged with booyah bombs, I'm just like, man, their K-Gal's really getting them out.
Your K-Gal's doing a lot. That's weird. Where's that curling rush coming from? What a mystery. What could be doing that?
Yeah, that was another iconic Riptide moment.
It really was that curling bomb rush on Humpback Rainmaker.
Yeah, everyone was popping off when they brought it back for Game 5 in Grands after losing
No.
earlier.
Here's my
was-
horrible little Riptide secret. I was at Cedar Point while that was happening. I was riding roller coasters. Me and my team we were all watching our funny little phone screens with the stream while we were in lines for roller coasters.
I'm just imagining like you pulling up the Riptide scream on your phone and just like yelling woo when something happens, and the
We
person next to you
were.
just like, and the person like, no, I'm just picturing like you on a roller coaster going like down a drop, yelling at your phone as opposed to the roller coaster.
I wish. I should have done that. That would have been funny. We're actually going to start here on Rainmaker Sturgeon, which is a map where the left path is always so tempting and so rarely fruitful.
Yeah, especially with the spinner being essentially just a coin flip as to whether or not you can actually fully utilize the left path.
Mhm.
I know it's on a cycle, but good luck
But
trying to
nobody
keep track
knows
of that.
it. Nobody knows.
If
the
people
cycle.
can't see the timer in Wahoo, I have little faith for people being able to just count the cycle.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all for sure.
Yeah.
But
It's
no,
like it's like watching Melee and pros just like somehow knowing exactly when Randall's gonna pop out of the side of Yoshi's Story, and everybody's just like, how do you do that?
well, to be fair, they've had Melee for a bit. They've
Yeah,
had
Melee
access
is
to
older
it for
than
a
me.
while. Ooh, that love feeling old.
It's
But
only
yeah.
older than me by like 2 years. It's not
Okay.
like I grew up
Yeah.
with the GameCube.
Okay. um, Rainmaker Surgeon is always. It's a map I like Mist on. I
Yeah.
like Mist on most maps though, so that doesn't mean that
Yeah,
much.
honestly, there is just something so sadistically satisfying about just constantly spamming the Rainmaker carrier with mists.
Like, what are you gonna do about it? Throw a little bomb at their feet while they're in the mist? Throw a fun little torp at them? Not that any current weapons really run torp that are run, but if you throw a torp at somebody while they're in mist, what are they gonna, like, what's the Rainmaker gonna do? It takes them 12 years to shoot a shot. They're still stuck in mist while they're shooting their... People can just rush them. They're busy.
Exactly. So I'm assuming that we're both anticipating a VJet coming out
Oh, absolutely. Why would there not be a V-Jet?
For there to be a C-Jet.
But you could have Mist.
But you
Did
could
they
have,
not see
but
the
you could
value of Mist?
Okay, I see your Mist, and I raise you exactly 7 funny Stingrays within the first 4 minutes.
You seem to have won with your 7 funny Stingrays.
In before, like, there's actually, like, 7 Stingrays total being popped.
Nah, there'll be, like, 8 from each C-Jet.
Who knows?
We are seeing them working on getting those rays at the ready. One already popped. No Ray battle, sadly. I do miss the days of Ray battles.
That's another thing that's just like so Splatoon 2 that it's gonna be like weird that it won't happen. Matt actually picks up the Rainmaker instead of the C-Jet. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it does leave the push a little bit split.
Luke doing what they've been doing all tournament and just really putting a lot of pressure on off angles that their teammates can't hold as well as them, because 52 Gal A has that quick kill time, has that funny little wall.
Yeah, I don't know if they've noted that Luke is up in the position that they're in right now. With another Stingray being active, this could be a really prime opportunity for Luke to push forward, but the Neo Splash going to be popping their Suction Bomb Rush and driving Thank You back. Stingray not going to be able to be utilized just yet, and they do finally get to utilize it in the end, as well as the Booyah Bomb coming out from Luke, but Luke has since backed off. But at this point, they and My Pleasure are going to be able to push really deep into the court from Team Slay.
Luke doing a great job of showing what that wall can do, but K-Shot knowing just how to position around it, which is always lovely to see. With how dominant 52 Gal was there for a minute before people learned how to play around it.
Yep.
K-Shot doing their best to clean up mid here, applying pressure while doing it, while making sure they stay up to have those missiles at the ready for the next push.
Now, the Neo Splash does go down, though, so Corey's going to have to back off a ways. Luke on the hunt, trying to figure out where they've gone to. Only 4 points separating the two teams, and Luke unfortunately falls off the map, barely missing the jump, but their team able to continue on without them. Thank You and Meg going to be driven back by these missiles, so the push does take a little bit longer to come to fruition, and right now, Big Half Man is going to take out the Stingray, leaving Met with only a little bit of support coming out, and as soon as I said that, their support is completely gone. They're actually being driven back a ways. Yeah.
Always an interesting choice to back up with the Rainmaker.
Yeah, the edge is right there.
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know. And we are seeing Sleepy here holding this Rainmaker, looking to push in, probably through that left side, but Ray coming out, forcing them to have to, like, make a quick decision, managing to make the jump, although it didn't look like it for half a second. Love you, Spectator Cam.
Yeah. Med does end up being able to take out almost half the team on their own as they try to go up for that push. Just the Neo Splash in a position to be able to defend, and Luke trying to do their best to make sure that they can't. Only a few points actually gained on Gas Prices by that last push. So now Gas Prices is able to retake the lead yet again with 1:50 left. And yeah, there were at least 7 Stingrays popped within the first 4 minutes and counting.
There are 2 C-Jets. What else can you expect? And we are seeing Corey moving up here, taking advantage of that armor their teammate popped. Moving fully up with it, not really hesitating. And now they're going to back off a little as the armor's been lost, and they're probably going to focus on getting their missiles up and ready. As Sleepy does go down there, and that is 3 people just taking out Corey right there.
Yeah.
If you get looked at by 3 people, you're not surviving in any situation I can think of.
I've seen some clips where people have gotten away from 3 other people. I don't think that they're in grand finals of Swimmer Sync at all.
Great White SOS, yeah.
Yeah. That's actually a really crucial pick coming out from Sleepy to get them where they were in the air. It doesn't actually stall the Rainmaker on that really awkward point to get out of. Instead, it's a much easier to grab part of the map. Team Slay is going to be able to push forward.
Only 40 seconds left in this game, as Team Slay is going to have to look really hard to find a good opening to push in through here. They do manage to take the C-Jet down, which is huge. That takes Ray offline for a little bit, which is a great Always great for the Rainmaker to try.
It's not
and
going to
move
last
through.
very long, though. If anything,
No,
this might have given the Siege at just the right moment. But you do go down. It's going to be really heavy
Baller
on the
coming
Siege
out.
at. Baller going to try
Able
and
to
take out
avoid it,
Sleepy,
and
but
this should be
unable to.
And that is lead over to Team Slay, a really crucial push there, and they managed to stall it out there for just a bit longer, giving their C-Jet time to get close to Ray, giving their K-Shot time to have missiles ready, and now Gas Prices needs to make a really incredible push.
Yeah, this ought to do it. Stingray being popped missiles, making Mez life even worse. The Stingray
Auto.
does get aimed a little bit. Oh, it was aimed towards the opposing Stingray. I didn't even realize that. And at this point, it's all on Meh. They go down with the Rainmaker and Gas Prices in the process. Team Slay picks up the first map of Grand Finals. I don't
Really?
know why I said that like that.
Really incredible spatial realization there out of Team Slay, where they realized that they could just go up that right wall, and they reacted to the baller so flawlessly with no hesitation of going, oh, if they drop down and I go up, I'm good. I'm good. It's safe.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, Team Slay with a brief advantage in this grand finals set. So we go into Plan Blitz on Mako Mart. I believe Gas Prices was not the team that we saw last set running the Slosher. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct. They did not have the Slosher.
So I doubt we're going to be seeing any changes coming in there.
Which is too bad. It's a fun little Slosher map. It's also a map that I've known a few Carbon players who are a big fan of this map.
Oh god, don't get me started on Carbon players.
They're an adventure. They're always having a good time. They're living their best life.
Yeah, they're certainly living their best life going to 3. Again, don't want to get too far into kits for everybody who's been trying to dodge
Avoid
any news and
spoilers,
let
yeah.
people experience it, but oh boy, it's a kit.
It sure is.
That is going to be so fun to fight against.
Yeah. Mako Mart is always an interesting map just due to all the ledges it has. Like, it definitely favors weapons that can play around ledges well and hold. Like, it's also a decent like E-liter map, but that's just because it's so small that the E-liter can hit the whole map.
Yeah. I've played with Rolling Squids before, and they use a very, very talented Charger player. And yeah, no, trying to play against her on Mako Mart was an experience.
I used to play with Asa back when I was on Inkai, and they're glad I don't have to play against their Charger, generally.
Yeah.
Glad I got to play with it.
Yeah, Charger players are a breed of their own.
They really
they
are.
I wish nothing but the best for them going into Splatoon 3. I would love to see more Chargers. I'd also love to see more Exploshers.
Oh, always wonderful to see an Explo come out. One of my favorite weapons.
We're also seeing My Pleasure switch off the Nautilus into the Neo Splash. So we're going to be seeing almost identical kits, or not almost identical, half identical kits coming out from both teams. The only difference being the choice of Slayer and Backline.
The Explo's a pretty different choice, though. Like, Explo does a completely different job. Not a completely different job, but a fairly different job in a comp than Jet. It's looking for picks, it's looking for paint, it's not looking for specials.
And it is a weapon that can be played around these ledges a little bit more versatile. It's more versatile around ledges than a V-Jet.
Absolutely, and the
Trying
baller
to
on
figure
this
out what
stage
the
is something that
adjective
can
or
be
the
so helpful for them.
versatile
That might be them. Actually, the baller there might be what they're after with the Explo if they didn't want to play Nautilus on this stage, because they have liked having that baller all the time.
Yeah, no, they have been playing baller on pretty much every map that we've seen so far.
I can't think of a map where they haven't had a baller.
I want to say they switched off Nautilus for like one game during the last set, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, a very frequent fight coming out in mid. Team Slay does go down 2 players, but they're quickly evened up on the side of Gas Prices. 2v2 situation right now. Thank you, just trying to figure out a place where they can play that get the most impact out of this Explosion, which so far hasn't really found the impact that I'm sure they'd like it to. Corey sharking on this stack right now, but eventually will be driven back. as gas prices does begin to push in, My Pleasure finds a pick. This is currently uncontested, and they have a lot of space near the opposing team's basket.
And there's that
And with
bomb
the-
rush at the ready.
Yeah, I'm more looking at the power clam that was acquired. Not going to be jumping in, just going to get in the old-fashioned way. Only 6 clams in the hands of gas prices, though, so this push might not be lasting very much longer, especially with Meg going down with all of the rest of them. Thank you, just trying to back off in mid, eventually going to jump back to their spawn. But the damage has been done. Gas prices takes a slight lead with about 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this game.
Definitely a very back and forth, very skirmishy kind of game. Neither side able to find huge openings, as we do see Team Slay starting to get in here. But are they going to be able to get more clams in? They have more, but it does not seem like they'll be able to easily get them in. I say as the splash manages to push them towards lead, but it is just that splash from there taken out. As My Pleasure is just cleaning up in mid, and Thank You is applying pressure to help get them back in on that left, help get them further in on that left side.
Ink Armor being popped, and it looks like Mez just going to grab the beauty like right off the bat. 7 clams in the hands of Thank You. Booyah Bomb being popped alongside the Suction Bomb Rush. This should be a very easy clam to get in for the side of gas prices. Luke taking a fight as his team takes the lead. And Luke, after winning that fight, is in a really good position for gas prices. Still a lot of clams in the hands of gas prices as they continue to just dump them into the basket.
And they
Only
just
2
need
more
2
needed.
more.
And Mez
They-
looking to try and get in, but can't quite. Oh, that will be Team Slay managing to hold on in this game too. But they
For
have
now.
a long ways to go. And it is
Yeah.
a very precarious situation. 2 powers and 2 regulars, and this game will be over.
We see Thank You applying a lot of pressure to that stack, allowing their teammates to try and get in. My Pleasure trying to win that 1v1, not quite able to find it against the other Neo Splash. It's interesting to see how the Expo is playing around the other people, just really allowing a lot of tank control and pressure around their feet, taking off a lot of armors in the process. Bomb Rush coming out here from the Neo Splash.
Through a combination of subs and the Explosher, the power climb has actually gone down for the side of Team Slay. That means that they are going to have severely limited options going into this last minute right now. They do still hold a fair amount of clams regularly. They're just getting ganged up on. These members aren't going to be able to stay on the map for much longer before having to respawn. And it looks like gas prices just wants to end this right here and now. Booyah Bomb being popped. That's one of the powers that they need. And it looks like they're going to just try and get them with the regulars. Only, I believe, 5 more clams needed to get this in. Won't quite do it, it looks like. Baller dealing a little bit of damage.
One more.
Wait, they only need 1 more. Thank You can just rush in. If they find this
Thank
pick,
You
they
can
find
get
1, they
this.
find the
Thank You
double,
gets
and they
the
will be able to get
triple.
the clam in.
Yeah, if you get the triple like that with Explo, I think you managed to get the clam in.
Woo! X-Flow!
Let's go, Explo! Always great to see an Explo get to come out and really show itself like that. Like, don't get me wrong, V-Jet, C-Jet, they can get hits, but Explo does it spicier.
Yeah, there's just a certain pizzazz that hitting someone point blank with an explosive projectile lobbed out of a grill.
Exactly. And do you think we'll be seeing Explo coming out again here on Zone's
Ooh.
Humpback?
That's a very good point. If it was Rainmaker, I would probably say we'd be seeing the V-Jets, but on Splat Zones, I think Explo definitely has a huge case to be made here. Just the sheer
Explo-
amount of map control you can get out of it on such a
Mhm.
bumpy map. I
It's
wouldn't be
wild.
surprised if we see it again, especially
Yeah.
with the Nautilus probably not going to be coming out again.
I remember the first time I saw Brian play Explo on this map and just decimate people with it. Brian just made it look like it was like breathing, just easy. No thought
Yeah,
needed.
bucket, send projectile, go boom. That's it. That's all there is to it, you know?
That's all there is.
Outside of the whole, like, you need to have players with you in order to stay alive, and it's a
The
weapon
aim
where
is
directs
you
are
have
super
to-
important, and
You have to shot lead 20 million times more than most other weapons. But it's definitely one of
Easy.
the best. Yeah, easy little weapon. It's definitely one of the best. Zone's Humpback is definitely one of the stronger Explo maps in the game, though, from what I've seen. So I would be very thrilled to see it coming back out here. It would not surprise me to see a V-Jet coming out. People love running V-Jet on this map. People love going for the missile spam, especially in zones. But maybe we'll get to see something a little
Yeah.
zestier.
yeah. Dream matchup here would be Explode versus Remix.
Oh, absolutely. Heavy is my beloved.
I love the remix. We are
And
going
we
to
are
continue to see the X-Blow.
Well, we're seeing
Two
double
X-Blows.
X-Blow. We're seeing no V-Jets. We are
And-
seeing double Booyah and double Missile.
Yeah,
we are seeing the different eras of humpback metas here.
yeah, a very... Both teams have, like, almost exactly the same things in completely different ways. Double Slayer, exactly the same weapon. And
We are also-
the X-Blow and the Armor Bot.
I will say that I do like seeing the Junior coming out here from Team Slay. I think Junior on this map, Junior can just rat so well on this map. Its movement options are obscene on this map. It can play more aggressively here than most other maps. Its bombs do better here. I like this map for Junior.
Yeah, that's what I was going to touch on right there. The bombs are going to be so helpful in getting these X-Blows out of position, and the ability for the Junior to just continue to throw bombs over and over again to displace the X-Blow is going to be so important. But it doesn't look like it doesn't look like Gas Prices, rather, is worrying about that too much. They're just holding forward. Double K Gals putting in work. Thank you, trying to deal with this last Sharky member. Was able to pop off the Tenta missiles before eventually having to see the position. I believe they do go down in the end, but missiles and armor ready yet again for the side of Team Slay. They're trying to figure out a way to push in. These Booyah Bombs and this constant pressure being exerted by the X-Blow are going to make it very hard for them to do so.
I will say that X-Blow has to care less about their walls than most other weapons in the game. It can just shoot
Very
over them.
true. Yeah.
Then again, I doubt they expected to see an X-Blow coming out from the other team.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, was this intended, or did they just really like last game? Or, I don't know. But either way,
I'm not gonna
Gas
complain
Price...
about it, though.
Of course not. Any excuse to not play Beach. But speaking of last game, Team Slay probably isn't too happy about how this game is going compared to last game. Another one where they have just struggled to maintain a positional advantage. 2 players go down on the side of Team Slay, including that X-Blow, so the other players are going to be forced to back up Sleepy, just trying to figure out a way to play around this K-Gal, and eventually their answer is just to not. They're just going to jump out, giving more positional advantage towards Gas Prices. And now that Thank You's on the front lines,
Right,
there's
like
a
they're
lot of
playing
potential work to be done, but they do end up going down to the other Explosher.
And we see the X-Blow pushing up into mid here very aggressively, popping that baller just to stay alive through that Booyah Bomb. Something that can be very challenging to do as an X-Blow. I don't remember if they were running much swim speed, but without swim speed, X-Blow has a very hard time with that. Junior does go down. Big triple there from Luke. It's going to be really, really hard for Team Slay to get back in here.
Especially with almost all of their entry routes being just put under constant pressure. Big Half-Man going to go down. No, that's one missile not going to be available. That's also armor not going to be available. And this Booyah Bomb should seal it. Gas Prices very thoroughly taking game 3. They go up in the series 2-1. Only 2 more maps to go before they are your Sink or Swim 80 Grand Finals champions.
I will say, very fun to see the X-Blow come out. Very fun to see 2 X-Blows. Cool to get to see the X-Blow 1v1s. I will say that I am not surprised to see 2 52 gals come out there. 52 gal can just do so well on this map. I will also point that I believe My Pleasure was on X-Blow in the previous game, right?
No, My Pleasure was on the Unsplash's previous game.
Oh, you're right.
That's their not player.
Sorry, my brain just went, wait, what? Did they switch X-Blow players on me?
That would be very
possible.
interesting. Mom said it's my turn on the X-Blow.
Mom said it's my turn on the fun weapon.
Anyways, back to V-Jet.
Back to V-Jet. Maybe C-Jet.
Maybe C-Jet. Maybe C-Jet.
Definitely still a 52 gal. Good Booyah map. Good Booyah mode.
Could we see a potential switch from Neo Splash to V Splash, or from Greynot to
I would
Goldknot?
love to see a V Splash here. I think V Splash on this map is so good. I think Mist on this map is especially strong due to all the jumps and stuff, and how much it's a very movement reliant map. And if you can stall people on Fan and force them to run out of ink on Fan, it's just such a power move, really.
Yeah.
Just, you gotta try and kill them with the Fan ink while they're in Toxic Mist. You gotta.
Of course.
Of course.
I was more saying V Splash for the potential of an Inkjet. Because I think
the
that this
Inkjet is also really strong here. Yeah.
It's a very good Inkjet map in general.
It is.
And I feel like with how Gas Prices especially have been playing the super up-tempo pace, I would not be surprised if they switched off my pleasure to either that V-Splash or the Golden Knot, even though they've
They
been
have
running
not played
Silver
the
Knot the
Gold
entire time.
Knot. Yeah, they have not played Gold Knot that we have seen at any point tonight.
They've gone up against it a lot, but
They sure have. It's a bit of a
we've yet to
common
see it.
pick.
Yeah.
But
But who takes the baller then?
Then who has the baller? How can they not have a baller on TC and Show?
Okay, we move from Grey Knot to V-Splash, and then we move from K-Gal to
V-Gal.
regular Gal.
Yeah. Of course.
And then we still have the baller.
No, we do still.
Wait, there is the regular K-Gal, or there is the regular Gal, and there is the...
We're out predicting them. We even see the V splash. They're listening. That's the only option.
I literally got everything. We got the V-Splash, we got the move on to Gold Nautilus, and we have the V-Gal.
And we are seeing gas prices here pushing in really hard through this fan, having a few specials at the ready, managing to take out the zap, and they're just rushing this fan saying, hey, can we push? We're gonna push.
Yeah. Mist going to have a little bit of help for Tori in finding a little bit of damage, but ultimately the point sensor and the inkjet going to combine to drive them further and further off. Both the weapons being swapped, having a huge advantage already. My Pleasure going to have to deal with Big Half Man in order to pass this checkpoint, and finally they do go down. 2v2 scenario right now. Gal and Nautilus still alive, and Thank You's getting very aggressive. He's going to get punished for that. Tower not going to move yet due to the inkjet being pushed or being popped, and it looks like Team Slay is going to be able to get control of the tower again. But Matt coming in out of nowhere, and the tower's still theirs.
It's still theirs. They are playing this match in a ridiculously dominant fashion. It reminds me of different era a little bit. I remember definitely seeing double inkjet a lot back on this map in, I wanna say 2019.
They've also got such a massive special advantage. Nobody on the side of Team Slay particularly close to theirs. Luke does go down on the V-Gal though. Inkjet at the ready for the Nautilus, and with the Ink Armor, they're going to pop it. Continuing to push further and further forward, even though the tower is stalled. Pushing out ahead, trying to gain as much map control as possible. But My Pleasure does go down on the way down from their inkjet. Luke goes down on the V-Gal. Actually, Luke's on the Octoshot, I think.
Luke is on the Octoshot, yes. I've been trying to find a good time to bring that up, but this game has just been so fast.
Yeah, and Matt
getting once again huge pick.
Yeah, that's so dangerous. And Sleepy also goes down. No armor, no inkjet. They do have the Stingray available, but the missiles aren't that close either. And this C-Jet is not in a particularly good position to pop the Stingray yet. So either they're forced to back off, or they need to continue fighting forward, which Thank You is not going to have. Baller doesn't quite find its mark, but does it does actually manage to find the C-Jet. Deals a little bit of damage to the other players surrounding it, but Gas Price is just continuing to push further and further. Luke finds another phenomenal pick onto Big Half Man, whose lurks just haven't been paying off the way they'd like them to, and this looks very Gas Price's favored.
We are seeing Luke here just playing around this tower, taking advantage of the fact that tower does in fact provide cover for you going down to that K-shot eventually, but they stalled it out there for a little bit longer. And all Gas Prices really wants here is just to maintain a stall out. Like, they don't need to get a further push, they just need Team Slay to not push.
And it looks like the specials finally aligned for Team Slay. Inkjet and armor going to be popped. Stingray still available for Team Slay. But do they have a good spot to use it? Luke's going to get caught out 5 pots to stand first bombs.
Which really can reduce the bomb spam a little bit, which on this map, trying to get through that first checkpoint with the amount of bombs that teams put out right now can be a complete nightmare.
Price is continuing to drive Team Slay back. Only 89 points left on the board for Team Slay. Certainly not the position that they'd want to be in. Yeah.
Good trade there from the V-Splash. Getting that knot out of the way is always very helpful. Probably not quite what they were after. It is interesting that Gas Prices have insisted on having that baller all night.
Yeah. It's definitely a choice.
It's working for them.
I mean, with how high gas prices are today, like having a very efficient mode of transportation is crucial, and we don't have access to the Reef Slider yet.
That's true.
So why not have the ball? Why not cruise around in style, rolling around on your single wheel, I guess.
Yeah, it's a strategy. And we are
It
seeing
certainly
Banky once
seems-
again pushing up here, taking advantage of the fact that this 52 gal can play a lot as a skirmisher, really. It can just hold spaces so well thanks to that baller. It can call out enemies and force them to scatter a little bit thanks to that point sensor, and just apply so much pressure through those modes, which is not something that we see people... We don't see skirmishers very often right now. They're not run a ton.
All the specials available for gas prices Luke does end up going down on this Octo Shot, so we're only going to be seeing one inkjet popped with the armor. The baller coming out yet again for thank you. And Team Slate does have control of the tower for now, but they're not in a good position, and they lose control of it in the end. Gas prices go to 3. They are one map away from Grand Finals champions.
What a wonderfully fast-paced game. Very fun to see the double inkjet coming out. Not something we see a ton of anymore. Mag getting great picks with that gray Zap. Always fun to see a Zap actually, moving up and helping their teammates and not just throwing bombs and painting for armor. And next up, you've got Rainmaker Muscle Forge, which
Hear me out.
I don't. What are you going to say? V-Splash again? Because I'd agree.
Same comps.
I agree. I don't disagree. I think you're right. I do think that double inkjet might not be the move. I think 2 inkjets might be too many.
Yeah, I would like to see a return to the K-Gal for Luke. I think the Octoshot was definitely a great pick for Ancho. However, for Rainmaker on Muscle Forge, I feel like you want to have that Booyah Bomb to help take space a little bit more consistently than the Inkjet, especially if you are also going to bring a second Inkjet on. I wouldn't be surprised to see a return to a more traditional thing, maybe sending My Pleasure back to VJet or CJet jail, going back to Ray Nautilus for the baller. But ultimately, there's still a lot of flexibility that gas prices can show on this map, and certainly a lot that Team Slay can show as well. They've played quite a few different weapons through the course of the set, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is where they're trying to make their push back into the set.
Absolutely. I will say Mist on Rainmaker in particular is where I find Mist to be the strongest, just because it inhibits the objective so much more in Rainmaker than any other mode.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a huge pain to deal with. And especially on a map like Muscle Forge, I could see a C-Jet coming out, but I'm more inclined to say that a V-Jet would, just because it's a map where you can really take advantage of Mist's stall capabilities, and having the missiles is also just really helpful for pushing in a way that having the Stingray just isn't.
Stingray's, I would argue, stronger on defense, but missiles tend to help more with offense, which it seems like Team Slay have been struggling to get a push going. Usually they can manage to stop a push. Antro was an exception. The rest of the time they've been better at stopping pushes, generally. Ancho and Humpback were a little bumpy, but Mako was pretty back and forth for a lot of it. And they did manage to take game 1. So I think their issue is usually with getting a good push going. It feels like they're a momentum team, and if they can get one going, they'll just keep going.
Yeah, it definitely leans that way. And the one thing that I want to touch on for gas prices before they go into this next map is that normally running a lot of high variance specials is a bit of a shot in the dark. It either works or it doesn't. Oh God.
People are making choices. Good for them. They're not getting popped. I can call that. What
do you mean? You don't want to see 3-point sensors thrown at the Rainmaker? They got popped. See? Also, we have an X-Flow. This is a game. This is the game of the night.
They're embracing that it's the end of Splatoon 2. They're playing what they want to play, and I love that for them.
Yeah, doesn't seem like it's worked out especially well in this opening. Luke goes down on the gal that I thought he was playing last set, and now Team Slay just pushing even further and further ahead. That does get a nice trade, playing probably the only weapon that is not fully out of position for them. But still, Team Slay with a very... You'd like to see a little bit more out of their opening push, but it's certainly not an awful one. My Pleasure going to be able to catch out Big Halfman right there, though, does open up a lot of interesting opportunities. That's a baller directly on the podium. That's a lot of space being taken. Yeah. Gas Prices takes the lead. They could take much further.
Game. This is gonna be game.
Yeah,
probably.
this is it's all down to the X-Blow.
And
The End Splash dropped.
they gotta
someone needs
grab
to
the
be able to-
Rainmaker
yeah.
though. They do have to do that to win.
Yeah.
And it looks like they probably are gonna. They do manage to stop the push. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go Team Slay.
Yeah, you know,
that was a lot of
it's
followers that were thrown at them at once. They weren't ready for it. Now they're gonna be ready for it.
yeah, it was game in the sense that like the team was up to the task. They were game for it.
Yeah,
Not,
absolutely.
Not
absolutely.
we're certainly not insisting as commentators that the game is going to be over. That would be
No.
cursing.
Who would say
That
that?
would absolutely be cursing it.
Oh, it's not a tournament unless the commentators curse something.
Ideally, commentators probably shouldn't be cursing things, but
It
when has that
happens,
ever
but
stopped us before?
It's fun
Speaking
for
of
us,
which,
bad for them.
it is very fun for us.
So many point sensors.
I have to balance out somehow calling all 3 weird weapon switches last map somehow.
Yeah. I think they're just listening to us. I'm gonna be honest.
Just a little bit of stream sniping.
It's
Gas
fun.
prices. Yeah.
Gas
a
prices
little bit of live
on the
commentary.
back foot a little bit here, going 2 down. Are they going for rail? They're going for rail. A choice to make. They don't have bombs to stop them, but by pleasure, you can just shoot them on the rail. That is how the game works. You can just get shot on that.
Yep.
Net going for pop. They're taking advantage of the fact that they are the only one on their team with a lethal, which is a rare choice for Rainmaker. That is 3 down on the side of Team Slay as Mez grabbing this Rainmaker and probably just going to try and rush it as it's just the X-Blow up and I'm assuming their gals are just a mile ahead of them already. Aside from
Yeah.
Luke, apparently.
No, Luke going to make sure that her teammates' feet are planted, getting a baller in position, a little bit more points coming out on the side of gas prices, a lot more damage being done. This Rainmaker's not exactly in a particularly good spot for gas prices, or for Team Slay rather, but gas prices will likely not be able to capitalize off of it. I don't know if they know that there's a player sharking below them though.
They do. Which will be unfortunate for them. X-Blow's sure looking for people using those point sensors and able to get that
They
pick.
do- okay.
Great pick there from the X-Blow.
Yeah, the baller unfortunately popped to stay alive a little bit too late. Gas prices back on the offensive. Suction bombs coming out from that zap. They're getting
Almost
pushed out
got
of
their
position. They're
ballers
not really.
already.
Yeah, 3 more points coming out from gas prices. And
They are
2 down
playing-
on the side of Team Slay.
Yeah.
Team Slay on
They're-
seriously on the back foot right now.
They're in the Rainmaker school of, hey, if we're pushing it,
Oh, hey,
you
Luke
can't
has
push
it.
it. And that's game.
Yeah,
um,
grand finals, everyone.
grand finals. Uh,
That was-
that's a treat. That's a treat right there.
Yeah, that was certainly a treat. One that you're probably not going to see again until Splatoon 3. But man, that was.
Really great gameplay there out of gas prices, taking
I thought
advantage
you
of the
were
fact that they know
18
how to
picks.
play off of each other. Yeah, they got great picks. I'm assuming some of them were also point sensor assists. Keep in mind they were all
I
throwing
completely
point
forgot
sensors
about that.
all over the place.
How many assists do you think there were?
Probably here's the thing, it's also a gal. So my brain is like, well, it could just have gotten 18, but they had point sensors.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm up in the air. Could have been like all 18 were assists, could have been that all 18 were kills.
Yeah, gas prices, if indeed you are listening to us for whatever reason,
Thank
A,
you for the
stop that.
entertainment.
B, thank you. C, please post a screenshot of Splatnet with the
Please,
assist.
we need to know. But yeah, great games there out of gas prices. Team Slay doing their best to get through that. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and what an exciting SOS.
Yep. Somebody help me indeed. Anyways, again, thank you so much for tuning in. This was Swim or Sink 80. Are we back next week?
I don't believe so. That next week will be the last of the month.
Yeah. So we've got what, like one more tops before
I
Splatoon
believe
3?
one more.
Wow,
Oh, that is under discussion. I see.
so part of me
Make
is
sure
like,
you
I
keep
want
an
one
eye
more,
out
but
for what's coming next.
yeah, part of me is like, I want one more, but the other part of me is like, 80 is such a good even number to
And
end on.
also, they get this was a good game.
This was a very good game. It was a good game by both teams, but in the end, only one can win, and that team was Gas Prices. They are your Swim or Sink 80 champions. I've been Alias Handle.
I've been Nox Raven 42. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you keep an eye on everything IPL has coming.